Hello, Stonehenge! Who takes the Pandorica takes the universe. But bad news, everyone. Because guess who? Ha!
Ha!
Except you lot. You're all whizzing about. It's all very distracting. Could you all just stay still for a minute? Because I am talking! Now, the question of the hour is, who gets the Pandorica? Answer, I do. Next question, who's coming to take it from me? Come on, look at me! No plan, no backup, no weapons worth a damn. Oh, and something else. I don't have anything to lose. So, if you're sitting up there in your silly little spaceship with all your silly little guns, and you've got any plans of taking the Pandorica tonight, just remember who's standing in your way. Remember every black day I ever stopped you, and then, do the smart thing. Let somebody else try first. I was slightly early there.
Was that Matt Smith doing it? I couldn't tell.
That was Matt Smith, yeah.
I genuinely could not tell if that was Matt Smith or not.
Thanks for that. Thank you.
Oh,
sorry, I'm just realizing we're having to readjust all my gain from when we did the live show. Because Dan's audio setup was fucking dumb.
Right, yeah, because the last show we did was the live show, which was, recorded. I haven't even gone through it all yet. That's how long it is. It's like 2 hours and 20 minutes.
There's definitely an argument out there that it's just way too long.
Yeah, it's pretty long. Well, no, look. Normally I put them on my headphones at work whilst I'm working, but because it was the video, I was like, I'm gonna watch the actual video, which means I have to do it in my spare time. So I haven't really had a chance to watch it all yet.
Yeah.
But it was fun. I feel awful. I feel like I made too many jokes about James Corden. I feel really bad. I'm sorry. I don't hate James Corden, okay? I'm not a huge fan of what he's doing right now, and I'm a big Craig Ferguson fan who he took over from on the Late Show, but I don't hate James Corden. I feel bad. I made too many jokes, but I'm sorry. We were literally on the beers. We filmed the whole show before, and we were on the beers for the whole night, and, either way.
Sometimes it'd be like that, you know?
Yeah, sometimes it do be like that. So my sincere apologies to James Corden. I know he is watching. We love you. Thank you so much for giving us Craig Owens, who we all know and love, and was just wasted on 2 episodes. So I'm doing it again. I'm being mean.
Being mean, you bastard. So if you couldn't tell by that epic that Matt Smith cameo we just had, today we're talking about the Pandorica Opens and the Big Bang. That's the Series 5 two-parter, the finale, episodes 12 and 13. Conor, I thought I'd start the show off today with a little question from a member of the audience.
Okay, go on. What do you mean?
We had a little. No, we actually had an audio message come through on Anchor. Which is cool. It's been a while since we've had one of those.
40 episodes since we've had an Anchor question. Jesus, that's great.
Yeah, there you go. So
who's it from?
The Ramble Road podcast. That's a podcast that they're quite communicative with us. I don't actually know the name of the person or persons that run it.
I know those guys.
But I've had a few chats with them over on Twitter. They've been really cool, and they've sent through a question today. I'm not quite sure what the Ramble Road podcast is, but if you like the sound of this person's voice,
check it out.
Sounds like a cool guy. I had to listen to it before. If you like the sound of their voice, then go listen to it. Cool. Let's do it. This is from Ramble Road.
Hello, Aidan and Connor. It is Jacob here, and I thought,
Jacob,
why not?
I'll
send you another question. Obviously, you're reviewing the Season 5 finale, and obviously you got the reveal that the Pandorica was made for the Doctor. And I think it's one of the best reveals in the show. So I want to ask you a question of what do you think some of the best reveals are? Personally, I like this one, The Timeless Child. Nah, I'm only joking, that one's shit. But yeah, what do you think some of the best reveals in New Who, or even Classic, or even Big Finish if you want to? What do you think the best reveals in the show have been?
Wow,
do you think, because he said that's Jacob, do you think that could be Instagram Jacob that talks to you over on Insta?
What, Jacob Hind? I don't think so. Maybe. I don't think so.
Who knows?
Who knows? I know. I feel like he might have said if it was. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know, actually.
That's all. Well, because he said it's
Two
Jacob
Jacobs.
with another question. And is it Jacob that usually gives us the question over on Insta?
Maybe, actually. That's a good point. I was going to say another question. Or maybe, I don't know. Ooh.
Interesting.
Small world. Maybe it is.
There we
I
go.
don't know.
That's really awkward then, because I was just like, Ramble Road. I don't know who this is.
I don't know who
It's
these
just a
people
cool
are.
person
I've never
to
seen this man before in my life. I guess like the one that comes to mind is like the Jack one in season 12 has probably shook me the most. I was not expecting that at all. I think that
was big
a
on shock
huge
value
reveal.
though.
That was a
but
big
I don't
reveal.
Think as for like how it paid into the story, I don't think it was like that great of a twist. You know.
Fair enough. The Daleks being in the sphere, I remember at the end of Army of Ghosts was massive. I remember that being like, whoa. I remember hearing rumors there'd be in it, and I was like, oh bollocks, that wouldn't happen. The whole Professor Yana thing was big. Oh god, there's quite a few that's all that really comes to mind. Oh, the River reveal was pretty big.
I was never that
though
surprised
kind of
by that.
stupid. Yeah, I didn't think it was great, but I was like, the fuck. It was more of a scratch my head reveal.
me,
John Hurt's Doctor, that was massive.
Oh yeah, I was gonna get to that. All right, so I'll go through it. Same as you, Army of Ghosts the Daleks coming out of the sphere. I think I mentioned this back when we did the review for Army of Ghosts Doomsday, but I remember my nana was recording them over on video in the UK, sending them over to Australia because Australia took donkey's years to actually show the show, and that videotape ran out at the end of Army of Ghosts, and I had to wait like 2 months to get the Doomsday videotape sent over from the UK because I don't know, we relied on boats for everything back then or something, and it just took years for things to come in the mail.
Yeah.
So that fucking shook me. And the other one from the RTD era is the David regenerating at the end of Stolen Earth. I've already told that story of how me and my mum, we were like equally shooked about it. That was a big one. Those are the ones that are from like memory as a kid shook me. But like watching this now, with the context of Classic Who and things like that, I think the Yana reveal would have been incredible to watch, knowing who the Master was and things like that. I just don't think at the time I appreciated what it was, you know?
Thinking back on it, it's actually quite a lot more than I thought there was. Yeah. Now there's been some cool ones. Let's hope that. I think the next big one is going to be that, you know, there's always rumors about Jodie regenerating this season. I think it'd be awesome if they didn't announce it and she just regenerates at the end of her final.
Totally.
Of like season 13. I think that'd be mad. And it kind of sounds like something Chibnall would do. You know, he likes to change things up. And I'm for that. I think that's awesome. I think they should do that more. Like, imagine not knowing who the next Doctor is until you watch the episode. That would be so sick. Like, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome. Like, yeah.
So, who the fuck knows?
Change it up a little bit, you know? Get the dogs.
I was going to say, in the Moffat era, there's a couple of twists that jump out to me. This was a good twist. Thanks, Jacob, for pointing that out. The Doctor being in the Pandorica twist. That's great, and it's one of those twists that I'm so used to after like a decade of watching this episode quite a few times. It's one of those things I just expect, and sometimes you just got to like sort of sit back and be like, fuck no, that is a good twist. You kind of forget how big that twist was. But other big ones that I can think of is, the John Hurt thing. I don't want to tell that story because I'll get to it when we do that episode, but me and Conor had a moment after that.
Oh, God.
And the other one I was going to say was Bill Potts getting shot at the start of episode 11 of Series 12.
That was good.
Series 10.
Yeah, that was good.
That fucking was just like, excuse me.
Yeah, because we were she's going to die, but we all thought she was going to die at like, in like the final or something, but it happened so quickly and it was like, brah.
You just don't expect it. The show's got such a formula of like the ending of the season is when the companion or the Doctor goes. You don't expect. I know it's the finale, but you don't expect the start of part 1 of the finale the companions just get shot through. Yeah, and it's quite brutal as well. Awesome. The big hole.
Yeah, I think it's awesome. Yeah, so hopefully Chibbers can bring something in like that for. I reckon he'll definitely be experimental with Jodie's regeneration, which I assume is going to happen this season. I mean, I don't know. I don't think she's going to stay. personally. So I think they might be doing a bit of a sneaky regeneration. So there's all these set photos that got leaked, and it was like she was like hugging John Bishop, and everyone was like, she must be emotional because she's filming her regeneration scene. I'm like, chill out, everybody. She's probably just like hugging her friend. Like, chill out. Like, nothing's confirmed, but it could be in a New Year's special. We never know. We never know
whether it happens this season or next season. I reckon surprise regeneration is definitely what's going to happen next, unless the BBC really gets in there with their claws. But that
we know
that brings us to a little bit of filming news. If you don't want to hear any filming discussion about the next season, jump ahead about a minute. So it won't take too long. But, I messaged you about it, Connor. The Daleks are back. Pretty much confirmed.
Are they? You messaged me about this?
Yeah. I put a message in the group chat saying they're currently filming with Daleks. So,
did you? Oh, sorry. I didn't see that.
Yeah. So I can't remember if I saw photos of the Daleks being loaded in. There might have been some photos floating around. But the big thing was Nick Briggs and a couple of other main Dalek operators were all on set for it.
This season sounds pretty cool.
Around this time, you'd expect them to maybe be filming the New Year's Day special.
Right.
And I kind of hope it's like a Dalek trilogy. I hope
I
this is the third part of a Dalek trilogy.
That'd maybe. Sick. Yeah, I could probably see them doing like like you said, a Dalek trilogy. It makes sense. And, Jodie regenerating in that. Or at least be getting close to it. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah. I'm actually quite excited, actually. Despite not loving the last two seasons, I still get very excited for it to come up. But it's also like my favorite show every week for like a couple of weeks. It's really fun.
Yeah.
So
it's always a crazy time because I forget, like, when Doctor Who comes on, I'm always like, wow, 10 weeks of this, or 7 or 8 weeks of this time, because you're so used to like getting Stranger Things now, or all these shows that they all drop on the same day, and you love it for like 2 weeks, and then you kind of move on. You got to wait a year and a half for the next season. Whereas with Doctor Who, because it's still a weekly show, and in Australia, most British shows and stuff like that, you don't like that would be on BBC One that you would get weekly in the UK. We just get all in one day in Australia most of the time because it's just like Netflix buys the rights to them right after they've come out in the UK, and then they just dump it all in one day.
Like Dracula,
so
for example,
it's really cool to have a weekly thing.
Yeah. We normally get that, something like Netflix or something that'll buy them, like you said. Yeah, I'm excited for like a weekly thing again. Like, I do like how like even like the Marvel shows and all that, and the Mandalorian stuff. It's all like episodic. I like that. Like, I like how it's like once a week. It does, as much as it can be annoying. Like, also it's like the waiting, as much as it can be annoying at times, is also the fun part. The speculation you're going around your head, like. When you binge, it's so easy just to press the next episode, like, and it can be over. Like, you can binge a whole season in a night. Like, it's not as fun or as memorable. Also, I know from like a marketing standpoint, people want, like, producers want the thing to be trending, and I know this because I watch Grace Randolph a lot, and she always says this, how like a Netflix show will do really good trending wise for 2 weeks, and then it will drop dramatically. Whilst if you have a TV show that's airing once a week for 10 episodes per se, say like Doctor Who, it's actually really good in the long run because people are talking about it constantly for 10 weeks because every new week there's a fresh bit of content. And then Doctor Who's always trending for 10 weeks rather than 2. So there's always that up and down with releasing them all to actually releasing them like once a week, but... Yeah.
And I think Disney Plus has been a cool reminder that weekly shit still works.
Yeah.
And it's
good.
Oh,
God, yeah.
And I think WandaVision, a lot of people are getting a bit like, oh, it's because it's weekly, that's why you don't like it. I don't think that that's it, because I ended up, I think I binged it in 2 things. I think when like 5 episodes had come out, I binged the first 5, and then when the last 4 or whatever had come out, I watched the last 4. And I don't think that was a reason why I didn't like it.
That's probably the problem.
Yeah, I just don't particularly think it was a great show. Good elements, but we won't get into that because Dylan will get angry.
It just didn't really
love you, Dylan. Kidding.
Together. I loved the first 3 so much. What a fall from grace. But have you watched Loki yet? I watched the first episode yesterday. It was pretty good actually.
No, so as I mentioned a couple of times on the show, I'm making my way through the Marvel films, and I'm a little bit into Infinity War now. So I'll probably just wait till I get to the end of Far From Home and do it.
It's pretty good actually. I it's pretty standard, but I liked it. It was a bit entertaining. It seems to be doing something different, and I like that. So I'm kind of excited for it.
I'm just very
next couple of weeks.
Well, I've heard a few mixed things from it. But the other thing is, just watch the start of Infinity War again then for the first time since the cinema. I guess spoilers if you haven't seen Infinity War, like the biggest movie of 2018. But obviously Loki dies in the first scene. And it's just it's so shit actually. I love it as a concept. It makes Thanos a strong villain, killing off Loki in the start. That's great. But one, it kind of looks shit. The CG of him lifting up Loki in the wide shot they use looks really fucking jolty and shit. And the other thing is it just isn't a testament to Loki's character. Because he's a really smart guy, and he's I'm gonna just knife Thanos. He won't see this one coming.
Yeah, knowing full well, it wouldn't do anything. And also, what I didn't like about it is that they killed him off, and they're this is so big, we did this massive thing, and then they just bring him. They knew full well they were just gonna bring him back, and it kind of. And look, I know they're definitely going for that storyline in Loki, not to spoil anything, but I know they're definitely going for that, this is what could have happened, if because he goes out of his timeline, which is what he does when he gets the Tesseract when they, in, Endgame. I know they're going for that, but it's, it really just takes away everything from that, death.
Yeah.
It's
because I remember there's a line later. Right after Thanos kills Loki, he goes, "No resurrections this time," or something like that, and that just feels they're doing a big "fuck you, we've resurrected everyone. This time is staying dead."
Just kidding. He's definitely gonna come back and get his own TV show. That, and one thing Marvel's really good at is planning ahead. There's fucking 20,000 TV shows and movies coming out. They knew full well they're gonna do it. And,
I think they said they plan 8 years ahead or something.
Ridiculous. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I really do think there's eventually gonna be a fatigue. There must be. It's getting. That's why I like The Boys so much. It was so refreshing. It was anti-superhero. It made fun of Marvel and DC so much, and it was really refreshing. And I just think that I'm not really helping things. I literally watched Loki yesterday, but it's enjoyable. But I don't see myself sitting down anymore, getting really excited. It's kind of something on in the background. I'm not really fully invested. I'm just it's something to watch. Really, I'm not. A bit fatigued, if you get what I mean. I've
surprisingly enjoyed this rewatch I've been doing. It's the first time I've ever sat down and watched them all together. Most of the films I've not seen since the cinema. It's just Iron Man, really, that I've gone back to a few times. And most of them, it's the first time. Well, sorry, a handful of them, it's the first time I've watched them all in full. But I'm actually, surprisingly enjoying them, but definitely just as background viewing. There's a few films like Winter Soldier and stuff where I'm no, I want to sit down and actually feel juice this in. But usually about 20 minutes into a Marvel film, you can tell if this is a one for a bit of a background viewing, or if it's one to really get invested in.
Yeah, I get that. It's it's for me there always just been some plot conflicts.
Totally. Yeah.
I don't go in to be emotionally moved or to whenever I know something, I'm alright. If there's something wrong with the script or something, it's I'm just what what did you really expect? I didn't come here to learn how to be a great screenwriter. It's a bit of fun, I think. And if you can switch your brain off, then they're fine.
Totally.
If I want to watch a good movie, I know I can. It's nothing's stopping me, but it's a bit of fun that I can chuck on at the end of a big day of work and just be okay, it's a bit of fun. I don't have to, like you said, sometimes when you watch a movie, you really do want to be in the right headspace, and that's how I want to be when I watch a Doctor Who episode. I don't want to go in being okay, I'll just chuck it on. I want to be in the right headspace. I want to be ready for it. But with something like that, I'm just a bit of background fun,
I'm just surprised because I've been notoriously a Marvel hater, but I am actually finding enough enjoyment out of rewatching these films to sort of keep me going.
Yeah, notoriously a Marvel simp, so...
Yeah, exactly. It's just because I've done a lot, I was going to go through all the Nolan films, and I got 3 films in, and I sort of, I stopped, Not from any dislike. I just have this annoying thing where I commit to like watching a director's filmography, get a few films in, and then I stop. Whereas for some reason with Marvel, I've just been smashing through them. Slowed down a bit recently, but there was definitely like a good month where I fucking was watching like 3 or 4 of them a week.
Have you seen the Russo Bros new movie, Cherry?
Oh, is that by the Russo brothers? I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's
no, I'm not.
Really bad. It's really bad.
Shit.
Like, it's really bad. I suggest watching it just so you can have a bit of a laugh. Like, it's trying to be really deep. I didn't like it at all. I really don't get what they were trying to go for. Yeah, it was really trying to be Oscar bait.
Spider-Man, isn't it?
Yeah, Tom Holland's in it, and he's good. Like, look, it's a well-directed movie. Don't get me wrong, but like the script is just fucking pants. Like, it's so bad. Like, I don't know what there's so many elements to it, and it's like I don't know what they were going for. And it was just, there were so many things in it that were just like laughably bad and just absurd that somehow that got the clear. Like, this script went through multiple drafts and that got through. Like, there's just so many things that, yeah. I suggest watching it for that aspect, just so you can just be like, okay, maybe next time I'm writing something to dial it back a little bit. 'Cause, yeah, I think
let's not do that. Yeah.
But yeah.
So that was the Marvel section of the show. Mm-hmm. Woo! Crazy.
50% Marvel podcast.
50% cat.
Like I said, today we're talking about the Pandorica opens and the big bang. Hold on, I was about to go into reviewing reading the Wikipedia recap for the episode, and then I realized I've opened up just the Doctor Who Series 5 tab and not the actual episode tab. So just bear with me here.
Aiden is so
okay,
prepared.
so here is a synopsis of the Pandorica opens. It's the 12th episode of the 5th series of the British science fiction television programme Doctor Who, first broadcast on the 19th of June 2010 on BBC One. It is the first in a 2-part finale. The second part, The Big Bang, aired on the 26th of June. The episode was written by head writer and executive producer Stephen Moffat and directed by Toby Haynes. In the episode, the time-travelling archaeologist, River Song, Alice Kingston, summons alien time traveller the Doctor, Matt Smith, and his companion Amy Pond, Karen Gillan, to Roman Britain in 102 AD, where underneath Stonehenge lies a fabled prison called the Pandorica. That legend tells holds the most fearsome being in the whole universe. However, it is discovered that the Doctor has been put in a trap by an alliance of his greatest enemies to save the universe from cracks in time that were caused by the Doctor's space-time vessel, the TARDIS. Amy's fiancé, Rory, Arthur Darvill, who had previously been erased from existence from one of the cracks in the universe, makes a return, though he is revealed to be an Auton duplicate, outfitted with his consciousness. That was fucking a long recap, but
it sounds pretty wacky.
There's a lot going on,
but it's awesome.
Yeah.
How good was part 1? It was so good. Part 2 is kind of Yeah, I like it, but part 1 is so good. Part 1 is so good. Aiden's just smiling at me like he's in love with me. He's like, yeah, it's so good. Part 1's so good.
As a young man, just forever, I've always been like, fucking Pandorica opens, so good. Big Bang, pretty shit.
Yeah.
I won't lie, I watched these 2 episodes back to back, and part 1, I went, oh, that was pretty good. Not a lot actually happened though. And then part 2, I was like, fuck, this is some good Doctor Who. I loved part 2. We'll get into it as we go through the episodes properly, but I am surprised that I loved part 2 more than part 1 this time, which is
fair enough.
I didn't think I'd say that.
That's why if we both had the same opinion, Aiden, this podcast would be pretty boring, wouldn't it? So
that's right. You know what I don't like about part 1?
What?
Is that it's literally just like the first act is awesome. And then once you dive into it, there's like an act and a half of the Doctor just... The amount of times there's a shot of the Doctor running to the Pandorica and sonicking it is genuinely like laughable. Like, it is what 30 minutes of the episode is just him doing that and having various conversations whilst he does it. It's great, and there's great character work going on in the background. Don't get me wrong, but there's just like there's just not a lot going on in that period.
I guess so. Yeah, I mean, like that's true. Like the more I think about that, it's true. But man, I loved it. Hey, it's so cool. Just like I guess we should get into it. Just like the opening.
For the last time in season 5. Take us through the episode.
I love how we open
for like the first time this season, so that's good.
Who, you or me? We both just sipped our beers at the same time. Some fat dead air for you all there.
Just some ASMR.
We drank beers last week on our live show, Aiden. All of us.
Oh fuck, we did too. But the 3 live shows we've done. Well, we did. We recorded in person the 11th Hour and Flesh and Stone Time of Angels. We had beers on them, and then the live show last week that we did, we had beers on that. This is the first one we've done virtually where we've been on the beers. Though I think
that's true
because we were smashing them back in season 4 and the specials.
Yeah, the specials was fucked. Hey, Christ,
that was just fucking drunk every time we did the show.
That was insane. Hey,
But I think it was just a bit unhealthy, so we toned it back a little bit this season.
Yeah, this is my first beer since Sunday, so it's Thursday today, so I'm pretty hashtag proud about that. And now watch me drink till Saturday. So
yeah, it's my first since Monday, I think. So progress.
No sound bites this week, just me. Do you like how it opens with Vincent's house? I think that's awesome.
Great. Don't expect it.
Vincent. No, you don't. I remember singing that first time. I was like, what? No way. Do you reckon they filmed... I'm sure you know from behind the scenes. Do you reckon they filmed all these... Obviously they did. They must be filmed in their film slot for when they filmed
possibly.
Their episodes.
I'm not sure. There's nothing on behind the scenes for that I could see.
Must
but
be.
It's all got to be directed by Toby, so it would all be under Toby's availability. And you got to remember...
True.
It's so tricky because it's like... They only want the sets to be made for the amount of time that they want to use them for.
Yeah.
So it is like a tricky thing. Like it's not like they were like, oh, we're only in Croatia once, we have to shoot it. Like they would have just got like the exterior shot and then maybe shot all the studio stuff.
Yeah, right.
That's actually inside in a studio later on.
Either way, I love it though because it isn't lazy. Because we get that, we get Winston again and all that, and they're passing down the Van Gogh photo. Yeah, Liz 10. It's awesome. We get to see... Is it Storm Craven, the place where River is, the prison?
Stormcage.
Stormcage. I think it's the first time we actually see it in person.
It is, yeah.
Which is awesome.
My dad, he fucking simps this shit, mate. I said at the start of the season that my dad always says, the crack season, that's my favourite season.
It's so good,
season
though.
5, obviously. And this opening,
season.
I just remember he nuts every time. If we talk about it, he'll be like, fuck Aiden, the way that season just all comes together in the start of that episode is just fucking incredible.
It's great, though.
That is some great television.
Yeah, it is though. It's really... This is my favourite season I've watched since the rewatch. I know I can't spoil on that now, but...
Oh my god!
I'm sure from my rating, that's not going to let me down. Like, I guarantee you. Like, I loved Russell Zero as a kid. This season was so good. Like, it was honestly amazing. Like, I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I
think for me, season 3 is still the top for me now. Surprisingly, because that was the season that I had liked the least as a kid. Maybe that's why I like it more now, because I invested a bit more in the episodes. But I actually just threw on Smith and Jones last night, just before I went to sleep, just to do a bit of background viewing.
Something to fall asleep.
And it just reminded me how much I love Martha now, and
Martha's the best.
How much I love the season and the feel of the season.
Yeah.
And so I do think I prefer that season over this, but I reckon this is my second favorite.
Yeah, Martha was my favourite companion from Russell Zero. Fun fact. So we get to see the Doctor and Amy, and they're like, "Look, we're gonna have to go and do this." They go to the. It's kind of like you said. I didn't notice how much of a rehash it is of the beginning of Flesh and Stone, when it's like. Did you say that? Or maybe it was Harry's Movement Media. Sorry, I'm getting you too mistaken. But I think he said like it's such a rehash of like River once again, doing Hello Sweetie and like graffiti in it. It's like, we've already seen this.
I mentioned the graffiti thing.
Yeah, maybe that was you.
When we talked about that.
it's like, it kind of was like, oh, I've already seen this, but it is what it is. And yeah, they land in England right next to Stonehenge. The Romans have taken over. Amy mentions that this was her favourite subject at school. And you do notice the Doctor, like, he kind of picks up on that, but doesn't think anything of it until later on when she mentions the Pandorica was her favourite book or some shit. I like how all the Romans have, like, the lipstick. The hallucinogenic lipstick. Oi! Stop
That's
that!
right.
So my cat's trying to escape my room. And River's Cleopatra, and she's like, look, you need to look at this. I like that. I like how River's playing like dress up and stuff, and Cleopatra. That was quite fun. I've been really liking River. I liked River a lot in this episode as well. For some reason, I really disliked her in the library episodes, but she's been great in the Angel two-parter and this two-parter. I really liked her. And then, of course, they show that classic picture of the TARDIS blowing up, which is
I love it. I love it so
iconic.
much.
Yeah, it's iconic.
It is iconic. It's just so pretty. And it's just begging to be blown up on all the artwork possible on bed sheets.
Aiden's got it on a bin, like he says.
Put it on the bin.
I like how it's on a bin. It's in a bin that carries trash. It's literally there to carry trash that no one wants anymore. That's going to be thrown out. Okay, we'll chuck
it makes
one of
my
those
trash
beautiful
look
things.
pretty.
Literally, one of those beautiful things from Doctor Who. We'll chuck it on a fucking bin. A bin. Do you still have it?
Yeah, I just emptied it into the wheelie bin yesterday. It's great.
You're like, I'm still going to use this. I love it. It's brilliant. Oh, God.
With it till me to the day I die.
Oh, God. Yeah. Okay, so title sequence, and then there's some obvious stunt doubles on a horse going, yeah, 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 and they're all gonna...
Yeah.
I love how, like, in all the exterior shots, it's all just, like, the back of their heads, and you're like, that's definitely not them. And then, all the close-ups are just them rocking, and you're like, okay, you're definitely on a horse right now. And it just cuts to a shot of them.
It looks kind of cool.
It's cool, but it just cuts to a shot of them just hopping off the horse. It's like, okay, I know you guys did your horse lessons, that's cool. Yeah, and then the Doctor's like going around Stonehenge, some beautiful shots of him using the Sonic and stuff, and it's like, I like how Amy says to River, you warned us about the Pandorica last time we saw you, and she's like, oh, cool, maybe I did, but I haven't done it yet. So that's really cool. So this River we're seeing now hasn't had the experience of the angels yet, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Makes sense, though, because how can she warn them about something that hasn't happened yet in her? Do you know what I mean?
It's all timey-wimey, and Moffat's just so great at just, like, throwing a reference in there, and sometimes I think, with this one, obviously he knew he was going to do it, but sometimes I think he, like, throws stuff in there where he's like, maybe I'll come back to it, maybe I won't, like the Singing Towers thing, and then that obviously comes up in Peter's episode with her. I just love how he just kind of, some of those things, he obviously didn't plan that.
Yeah, the whole TARDIS exploding thing never really gets resolved. It kind of does.
Yeah,
in time. Doctor. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's something like, it's a quick run, like a quick thought, like a quick sentence. He's like, is that what happened? I thought I left the bath on. It's like, okay, what the fuck? Like, that doesn't get explained, and it's like a huge point of this episode. They open up the Pandorica. They open up the Stonehenge. They walk down, and this set is beautiful, by the way. Beautiful. Set is so cool. My. Looks amazing.
So good.
And they get to see it, the Pandorica, and Amy says once again, it's my favourite book at school. And he's like, oh, your favourite book at school? No, your favourite book. And then, of course, Amy says it's my favourite subject at school and all that shit. So he's like, oh, they're putting all these things together. And then, you're right, there is a lot of scenes of Matt running up to the Pandorica with the Sonic. It's like, oh my god, this thing is opening. It's got like 10,000 layers. When's it going to open? Maybe in a few hours.
Oh my god.
I don't know.
Wait. There's Daleks outside. Ah, shit. Got them away. I'll head back and Sonic the Pandorica a bit more until they come in here.
No.
Oh no.
No.
Cyberman.
No. Okay. Now run back to the Pandorica. And it's like Silurians, Cigarettes, Zygons, blah, 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 blah. Are they all villains? I feel like I didn't notice like half of them when I watched it. You're more of a classic man, so...
Well, most of them are, I think, from New Who, but I was reading, and it listed a fuck ton on TARDIS Wiki, like a fuck ton of classic Who enemies that were there as well, and I don't recall seeing any of them.
It's probably their ships. Like, I think there's a lot of
Maybe.
ships. Yeah, I mean, the only thing I really know is... Yeah, go on.
There was a funny fact here that I didn't include in Goof of the Week or behind the scene. Goof of the Week, yeah, just because I thought it was a bit silly. But it said on Data's Wiki that there's more ships in the sky than alien species that get mentioned. So they've just thrown in too many spaceships, Connor.
Well, I feel like that's... Nah, because, like... Don't they say there's 10,000 ships around the orbit? So...
I thought it was dumb, but I just thought maybe someone out there will appreciate that fact.
The only ones I noticed were obviously the Dalek and Cybermen ships, but till we... Sontarans, yeah, but also Cybermen, like, you don't know what a Cyberman ship looks like until Good Man Goes to War, so they could have just made it in this episode and then been like, that's what it looks like, because you never got to see one of them. Yeah. And then the other thing I noticed was what I told you about, actually, when we reviewed... Limf Hour, you get to see the fucking eyeball ship, like, briefly.
The Traxi.
Don't know why that. Oh, I think you can see a Jejun one as well, and like a cigarette ship. Because cigarettes are there. Cigarettes, you can see a cigarette in the background. When they're walking the Doctor into the Pandorica. So
yeah,
it's literally the BBC's costume department, which I love. Like,
well, that's what I read was that apparently they went into the BBC prop room and they just went, right, what costumes are still in good nick? Because half of them like deteriorate over time and shit like that. So they just picked the ones that have been in the best kept condition and just reuse those ones.
That's perfect. I think it's awesome. It's so cool. And the trickster gets a mention. The Doctor's like, if there was a goblin or a trickster, I don't actually think he is referring to the trickster himself, but I thought it was a cool little nod, maybe. I always bring up this dumb fact to Daniel and you, Aiden, where I go, the trickster species is the only alien to appear in the Sarah Jane Adventures, Torture and
Nobody cares.
And it's such a great fact. It makes me sleep well at night. I think about that, I smile, and then I drift off. Honestly.
Rory's back.
Rory's back. Well, before that, there's a fucking Cybermen head flying around. Do you like that scene?
Yes.
That's cool. I like that.
That's like a bit silly. I never liked that it's just a skull inside. That's what's always pissed me off because it's always meant to be they just take the brain. So that I found a bit weird. I've always loved,
good point.
Look at me, I'm a target. I've always thought that was funny, and I used to always use that when we played dodgeball in high school.
Look at me, I'm a target. Yeah, that's good. I like how the Doctor gets like electrocuted. Somehow he doesn't regenerate. I don't know why. Apparently just stunned him. I guess they did need him for a soldier, which doesn't make sense because the Cybermen can't use the Doctor as a to upgrade it regardlessly. I liked it though. I like how some reason the Cybermen went down there and got down there. I think they mentioned they sent one down. I don't know. Who knows? Who cares?
It was the guard. It was the guard of the Pandorica.
Oh, okay. Okay, fair enough. Maybe I just wasn't listening.
Just
and then
one.
Somehow Rory's sword.
That's why they were saying that they need Rory to guard it in the future.
Right.
Because Rory killed the guard.
Right. Rory's sword goes through a Cyberman for some reason. That happens, I guess. And of course, Amy doesn't notice him, which is great. I love how Matt rocks off and he's like, all right, you two can go off now. Thanks for your help. Oh, Rory, I feel like there's something I'm missing right now. I can't think. I love that. It's a bit stupid, but it's funny. It doesn't make sense. You would literally see someone and be like, it's you. But for some reason, the Doctor, who's meant to be the smartest person in the universe. And again, I think they always go for this with Matt. It's like, he's so alien, he doesn't even notice it's Rory. Like, but it's...
Oh my god!
It took me out of the episode a little bit, but it's funny enough. River flies to TARDIS back. She's like, I need to go back to Amy. Takes her back to Amy's house. We get to hear Silence Will Fall. Silence get a lot of mentions despite them not being in it, but I'm so keen to see them again. I cannot wait to see the Silence. There's a crack on the TARDIS screen. Cracks fucking skin on the earth, mate. Damn straight. And they go into Amy's house, and the Aiden, get ready for this. All of the Romans are from a book, and so is the Pandorica. Okay?
No way.
Yeah. Wow. You know what? You know how you said nothing happens in this episode? I've literally recapped this so quickly. You're not wrong, to be honest. This is so quick. Rory goes up to Amy outside because he's worried that she's going to start flirting with some Romans, which I thought was funny. And then he tries to get her to remember.
The Pandorica speech, though. I know I did it earlier.
Shit. I did think about that.
What do you think of it though?
Oh, it's so fucking good. It's so cool. It's awesome.
That score that you all heard earlier, accompanied by such a great performance by me.
I was going to say Matt Smith then.
Was great. Yeah, I know. Honestly, it's like not only do we need Aidan Green for showrunner, we also need Aidan Green for the Doctor, right? I'll write and direct and star in a 13-episode series.
You probably edit it as well, knowing you, and produce it, and do the cinematography. It's like, you know how...
I'll just do it. A one-man show. Just me and a camera. I'll make it a vlog show.
You know how Zack Snyder was he's like the director and the cinematographer of Army of Dead, his new film.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's like... That's something you'd see on like one of our sets for one of our films back when we were in like year 7. You need a cinematographer, Connor? No, I'll do it. Dumb. That's great. That scene's awesome. Even Ryan Gosling has done an interview and he was like... There's this one scene where Matt Smith, he's standing on this rock and he's like talking to all these aliens and it was the most amazing thing I'd ever seen. And I was like, that's awesome. Like, even that.
Yeah.
I think also it was like the first Doctor Who clip to go viral, I think. It's an awesome speech. It's so cool. It's definitely one of the best things in Doctor Who, in my opinion. But yeah, the Autons are back. Autons are back, baby. And I think that's so cool.
Yeah.
Haven't seen them in a while, have we?
Cool. And they're used well. Like, they're not just like, oh, it's the Autons. It's like, oh, here's the Autons, but here's something we're doing cool with the plot for the Autons, you know?
No, I agree. Yeah, it's really cool. And with Rory being one, it was a twist. It was really cool. The scene with him and Amy starts to realize she's like crying and laughing. She doesn't know why. And they're all changing and the Pandorica opens, the Romans all turn on the Doctor, and then Rory is like trying to fight back, but once Amy finds out that it's actually him, he shoots her, and then the most beautiful piece of score plays, The Life and Death of Amy Pond, which is, I don't know if I've ever said this, is one of my favourites, probably top 5 favourite pieces from Murray. It's stunning.
It's great.
Stunning.
Something that I am obsessed with at the moment, and, you know, I love it, in A Quiet Place, but they definitely did it a bit way too much in A Quiet Place, but it excels at a lot of points where it does it, is intercutting. So like you're building up a few different scenes at different times, but then they all reach this climax at the same time and you're just cutting between them constantly.
Quiet Place does do that a lot.
The audiences, they do it too much, but there's a point at the end of the second act of A Quiet Place where it's so good. But yeah, in this, they do it again. You know, you've got River trying to stop the TARDIS from like blowing up, and then you're intercutting that with the Amy and Rory scene where that's all emotional, and then the gun comes out, and then the Doctor being pulled into the Pandorica. Fucking insane. Yeah, it's so good.
You're totally right. It's so well edited as well. The score fits perfectly. The score is so sad. And it's a song of defeat in a way, and it's awesome, and it totally works. It's just such a emotional puncher. There she blows. It's so beautiful, and the slow mo is perfect. I don't normally like slow mo in stuff when it's not done well, but you know, this was done really well.
Yeah, and that twist, like the big man himself, Jacob said, so good when they're like, that Pandorica is for you, and they're all kind of like yelling at him as they're pulling him in.
For
he's
you.
Like, no, you've got it all wrong. Ah.
Every sun, every supernova. I don't think anyone can stop it. Please listen to me. All of you lot working together. Oh, it's so good. It's kind of like unrealistic. I don't see the Daleks and Cybermen being in the same room, but I guess it's kind of like, the way I look at it, it's like, if we can get rid of this twat, we can start fighting again. Like, we can like, the enemy of my enemy is my friend, almost. It's like, alright, we hate each other, but, you know, maybe we can join forces to get rid of him, and we can get back to killing each other. But, yeah, you see the Hawks? Is it the Hawks? That fucking guy from Love and Monsters? Which is a beautiful...
That fucker is just there, apparently.
It's a beautiful
He's come down
design.
in his spaceship.
It's a beautiful design. Beautiful design. So I'm glad they brought that back, and it was literally used for one scene in Love and Monsters. I think they're called the Hawks. I might be wrong. The Hacks, something like that, yeah.
I think.
yeah, Daleks, Cybermen, Sontaran, and Silurians are there for some reason. The Judoon rock up for some reason because they hate the Doctor now. I guess they hate him from when he left in the Solar Earth. You're gonna see a Cigarax in the background. That's all I can remember.
There's Weevils there?
Huh?
There's Weevils from Torchwood?
Are there?
Yeah.
Are you mad? Are there?
No, legit. In their little Weevil jumpsuits as well.
Are you kidding me?
Just there.
Are you joking?
Yeah, no, look it up.
No way. Yeah, fair enough. That's
There's
crazy.
a lot of monsters that I think were there just to like fill out the background.
Yeah. Well, that's crazy. I love it. They're like falling through the rift and they fall into the Pandorica. But it's so good though. Like, and like Riddler finally gets out the TARDIS and it's a brick wall, Aiden. It's a brick wall. That's it. That's it.
Damn.
That's it. TARDIS explodes. Every sun supernova.
I'm sorry, my love.
Star. I'm sorry, my love. And then of course, good old Amy's dead. I'm afraid.
Mm-hmm.
It's the end of the world.
Big sad.
And then it kind of like it zooms out on all of the stars and everything. Just fucking.
First episode since Rise of the Cybermen. Is that part one? That part one of that Cybermen 2-parter in season 2. It's the first time since then that there's no next time trailer.
Correct. Yeah, I said that to Dan because I watched it with him. I was like, surely not, because Moffat was like to Russell at the end of the Slovene parter, shouldn't have done that, mate. Shouldn't have done. And that was like, yeah, I can see now why he didn't do it. Because I'm like, yeah, it definitely doesn't sound like something Moffat would do. By the way, I'm looking at the picture and yeah, there are Weevils there. That's crazy. How did I not notice that? I'm such a huge Tortured fan. I didn't see that. That's crazy.
It's crazy.
It's
crazy.
That scene is awesome though. Like it's to see them all together. Like it truly shows how much of a how big of a universe Doctor Who is. Like to have all of these amazing characters all come together and you're just like, bruh, this is sick. Like to see them all together. Like it's something else.
And for Moffat's first finale, just to be like, fucking go ham, you know, with it. Like Russell, like he pretty much always just stuck with Daleks for the finale. Other than, the master one. But Moffat was like, we're doing it all, baby. We're doing it fucking all.
You can really tell he had such a huge plan for his season. And it totally pays off. Like, it's so... Like, I look, I know you
unique.
like... Yeah, oh god, it is. Yeah, I know you really like the second part. And don't get me wrong, I didn't dislike the second half. But... For me, the first part was like, this is just like some like I was like loving it the whole time, like just like having a cheeky smile the whole time. It like I just think that like he had such a unique plan. Like it's so I can't fathom how much I loved it. Like this season, it's
just like
fun.
The RTD era, it's great and it's got some fucking great emotions. But ultimately, it's just like, it is what it is. It's what it always is on the tin. It's a soap opera. And it's like, oh, how's he going to get over the loss of Rose? And it's all this character-driven emotion drama. But then Moffat just comes in with this plan that is just like, unlike anything else that we've had in the show before, that is timey-wimey. This season in particular is timey-wimey, but not overly complicated. And it just like... is so unique, and it just takes such a talented writer to pull it off, and director. By the way, I think we should say Toby Haynes did a excellent job directing this episode.
Didn't you say he does Christmas Carol and the season 2-parter?
The season 6 2-parter, yeah. So I think he comes back for the next 3 episodes, and that's all he does, I believe. I'll fact check that now, but that's
crazy.
memory.
Like, I love these fucking these Matt directors. He never really had anything like.
Yeah. That's all he does. Just those five back-to-back episodes. He did, however. I know there'll be a lot of crossover with this fandom. Sherlock. He did the Wrecking Back Fall, I think is how it's pronounced.
Fall, yeah.
So that. Just one of the best episodes of Sherlock, which is great. And I think he did... an excellent episode of Black Mirror. The USS Callisto.
Ah. Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's really well done. I love how they picked him to do all those as well. Like it makes sense because it's so. You're right. It's very much like its own. I know you said this before. It's like it kind of does feel like a bit of a 5-part story in a way. So it makes sense that they bring him back to do all those. I really just wish this. I really wish his era though had like a Eurosyn or something. I know we keep saying that a lot. I think Dan went to go see Eurosyn's new film. He said it was pretty good, so I'm glad he's doing some good stuff. But
film about a horse.
A film about a horse. That's kind of it, and that's the end of that part. So if you want to move on to, I know we like to change things up, like Aiden says. We like to mix things up around here.
Baby, every 2-parter, we like to throw in Goof of the Week between the 2 parts to shake things up, rather than cramming them all at the end. So Connor, shall we move into Australia's favourite segment?
Let's do it, baby.
It's time for Goof of the Week. It's not as good. It's not as good that we don't have the soundboard to press, is it?
Oh, I miss the soundboard. Although I definitely think I went a bit overboard, but that's okay. We've all been there.
That's all right. So Goof of the Week. Do you have any Goofs of the Week?
Yeah, for the first part, River, we've seen this quite a lot. A character will lean on something which is meant to be like hard, and it indents in on like their elbow. There's this shot where River puts her elbow on the Pandorica, and it's like it goes in a little bit. And it's meant to be obviously like stone and shit.
Yeah.
Only other thing
I think I read that Amy does that as well at one point.
Yeah. It's like look, you've come to expect it. But the only other thing I can think of is like, I don't know, you said you disagreed with this, but when Matt gets shot in the next episode and he falls down the stairs, it's not necessarily when he's falling down the stairs, but there's this scene where like he quickly jumps up and he grabs past Matt Smith and is like whispering in his ear, and the stunt double they got for him has like hell short hair, and I noticed that quite a lot. And I noticed a shot where a River stunt double was like riding into the camp to warn the Romans about all the things in the sky, and I noticed again there was like some weird stunt doubles which didn't really match up to my liking.
The Matt stuff, I was like, I'm gonna pay attention to this and see if I notice it, but I think I kind of got a bit carried away in the story and didn't notice it too much. But yeah, I didn't really notice it at all, to be honest.
Yeah, fair enough. That's okay.
I don't have any goofs myself for this week. I had one thing that I thought of, but I don't know if it is a story goof, or I think they might reference it in the Big Bang. Which, by the way, sorry, the goof of the week that we're doing now is not just for Pandorica Opens. We're also doing it for the Big Bang now, just to confuse everyone. That's lovely. But how does Rory open the TARDIS? Sorry, the Pandorica at the start of Big Bang.
He uses a sonic screwdriver.
Is that how he does it? He sonics it open?
Yeah, because Matt gives it to him.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Of course, that's so dumb. Yeah. Silly me. Alright, got quite a bit here over on TARDIS Wiki. Woo! Whoa. So there's quite a bit here, and that's with me just, trimming the fat as well. There's quite a bit of good ones in here. So the first one is, at this point, with the year that they give for Van Gogh's timeline, he should have had no left ear.
Oh my god.
Damn,
surely
son.
Not. That's really dark. Surely not. Oh no.
So in the Pandorica, the main Pandorica room, so in the first shot and a few shots at the start, there's like different tunnels that go off. But then throughout the majority of the episode, these tunnels just disappear. And then just like here and there, they just happen to be in a shot every now and then. But for the most part, these tunnels just disappear after that first scene.
Right.
Both the Sycorax and the Autons are constantly disappearing in shots of at the end of the episode.
Oh god.
So when there's a close-up of Amy looking at the ring, I think it's in the TARDIS, this shot, and it's like a close-up of her eye. You can see a crew member in her eye.
What?
I was trying to think of a joke where I was like, oh, maybe it's just the angel from the Time of Angels.
Yeah, oh god.
This one's funny. So, you know the Cyberman, how it's only got one arm?
Mm-hmm.
So, even though it only has one arm, its shadow has two.
Don't
think I need to go and explain why that happened.
That's good. I like that.
This is just a little one from The Big Bang. So The Big Bang's set in 1996, because it's obviously in young Amelia's timeline. But when you look at the skyline, the building called the Gherkin, that's the big, the spiral one that at the start of,
boom.
What's it called?
Christmas Invasion.
Christmas Invasion. You see that explode with glass. That wasn't built until the 2000s. That building, but it's in the skyline there.
Wastemen.
So here's something funny. When the Doctor's going backwards in time at the end of the episode, he has his time vortex on his wrist for all the shots, except for when he talks to Amy in the forest. For some reason, it disappears there. Maybe it was something that they tried and it was too obvious.
And they'd be like, he's got a time vortex on. It's not really him from this timeline.
Yeah. Whereas, because when you're watching the episode now, you either don't notice it and you just think it's in the right timeline when you're watching Flesh and Stone, or you're like, oh, production error, he had his jacket on. Like that.
I swear. You can't escape that. It's either a production error or it's a production error. Like, no matter what way you see it, it's like, I like it a lot.
Bang, bang.
I like it a lot, though. I like it a lot. That scene's awesome.
It's very good. We'll get there. Another thing is, so Matt's costume. So when he gets shot by the Dalek, this is such a small thing. When he gets shot by the Dalek, he obviously lights up and it's like, ugh! And then he stops lighting up and he falls, but we only see that his costume has been destroyed in the next shot, whereas realistically, it should all have got destroyed when he got the extermination effect from the Daleks. Yeah, the VFX artist didn't fix that one up. It's even just like an editing thing. Like, if it was too hard, just cut from that first shot earlier, It's, a bit silly. So this is really dumb, and I don't understand. It must have been like the second or third AD just did their job shit, because they're in charge of extras and directing extras. But at the wedding, the guests are constantly changing spots. It's just like, it's not that fucking hard to be like, this is your chair. Every time we come back to set, sit in this chair. Like, not hard. Take continuity photos as well is a big thing. Like, I don't know why the fuck they didn't, like, that baffles me as to how that happened. But hey, we'll let him off. It's Doctor Who. A funny one here, and I guess it was because this decision was made after they'd shot the first episodes 1, 4, and 5. But Amy's wedding dress and Amy's bedroom change from what it's like in them first few episodes. So I assume the director came in and didn't like it and wanted it changed or something.
Yeah, I heard on Harry's Moving Media that it was a directorial choice to change Amy's bedroom to a blue coat of paint to be like, when she was younger, she was like obsessed with the TARDIS. Did you say that? No.
I said that in the 11th hour.
Nah, Harry's Moving Media said it first.
Okay, well, you can mix up whenever. I said it in the episode. That's all I'm going to say, is I definitely said it. You fuckwit. And her wedding dress changes. That's weird. The other thing is, there's quite a few crew members that are just in the backgrounds of shots.
They just wanted to be part of the wedding.
Quite a few. That's it. Well, there's one in the wedding. There's one in the TARDIS. I think those are the main ones it said. And also, I mean, they're working with so many stunt doubles and so many different time periods that cross over. There's a lot of like hairstyles and just people looking in slightly different ways, continuity-wise, that don't match up between shots.
Right.
Kind of understandable with an episode of that. That's kind of this timey-wimey though. So I'll let him off.
Of course. We'll let him go. We'll let it slide. Yeah, we're generous here at the 50% Doctor Who podcast.
Yeah, we are, baby. Connor, before we get into the Big Bang, I'm going to go for a piss.
Okay.
We'll hit up the elevator tune.
Oh, again?
And Connor, I want you to talk about what your favourite, other than K9, what is your favourite robot in Doctor Who? And yep, have fun with that. I don't know why. I just thought of it on the spot. Just have fun with it.
My
mate.
favourite robot.
See ya.
Apart from...
Not listening to you. Can't hear you. Don't have my headphones in.
Good. Didn't want to talk to you anyway. Next. I don't know. What the fuck? That's such a weird question. Does Mr. Smith count? He said Doctor Who. It's a Doctor Who universe, so... I don't know. Favourite robot? Gadget's pretty cool. Who are those two cunts from the fucking... that children episode? Oh, Dinosaurs on the Spaceship. They're cool. Are there any other robots? What a dumb question. This question sucks, bro. I can't think of shit. It's like 8:45. I'm tired. I promised to do a live Instagram live after this. So I'm probably gonna do it for 5 minutes. I'll be lucky if maybe one person shows up. So if I'm lucky, so that's gonna be quite embarrassing. I doubt Aiden's gonna join me for that. So I don't know. It's gonna be quite interesting. I don't know. I don't want to do it for too long because I don't. If a lot of people join, I'll probably stay for like 10 minutes. I don't want to do it for long because I'm terrified doing a live show in case like I say something that is not great. I don't know. And it's gone back now, so let's pretend we're talking about robots in
Mate,
3, 2, 1.
If you didn't fucking say...
I guess, you know, I
handles,
guess Mr. Smith
I'll
counts
be really
as-
pissed off.
Mr. Smith kind of counts, I think. Huh?
Said if you didn't say handles when I listen back to this, I'll be fucking mad because handles is
Shit.
the
I
best
didn't think
part
of
of the time of the Doctor by a long shot.
I didn't think of animals. I just said Mr. Smith. And Gadget, and those two cunts from Dinosaurs on a Spaceship. Who the fuck they
Those
are?
two cunts.
I think they're the twats from Peep Show. I think they're the two, that British comedy I never watched. I think they're both voice acted by them two. I don't know, but yeah, those two twats from who I actually don't even like. I don't even like those robots for some reason. They're the only other two I could think of. So yeah,
I've always thought that those two robots look too much like. Well, this is more of a Wedding of River Song, Husbands of River Song thing.
Yeah, that's
but
so
they
true.
just look like the Hydrofax.
Yeah,
the
that's
mighty
so true.
I don't know what it's called.
Yeah, that's actually very true. Yeah, those two twats. I'm so excited.
Fuck, I've got beer everywhere. Hold on.
Beer
Hold on.
everywhere.
Filling up my beer.
Yeah. Oh god, Aiden's bloody headphones are gone again. He can't hear me. Folks, Aiden has spilt beer all down himself again. He's had too much. He needs to stop. He needs to get help. God help him. Alright, it's coming back. Alright. And yeah, they do like those robots. Yeah. As I was
What are
telling
you
the
saying?
audience.
What shit were you talking about?
Nothing! Why would I say anything bad?
Oh, I can't wait to listen to this audio.
I would
just
never
cut you
say
out.
anything bad.
I'll just cut out the whole fucking segment.
Go ahead. Do it.
I will,
Do it, you
bitch.
pussy.
Alright,
Do it.
talk to me. Talk to me, Daddy, about the Big Bang, Part 2.
Bang!
It all started with the Big Bang. Bang!
Our whole universe is... Oh, stupid fucking show. Alright. Are you ready? Yeah, I'm ready
Yes.
for this. I'm trying to remember how the fuck it starts.
Well, kids, this is where it gets complicated.
Oh, yeah, shit. Sorry. There's no stars in the sky, Aiden. Little Amelia needs a
stars are
psychiatrist
going out.
because the doctor never arrived. It's a bit of a turn left. The doctor never arrived. None of this ever happened. The stars are all gone. And then this little thing comes through the mailbox saying, "Meet me here." For some reason, Amelia agrees to it. Like some random grown-ass man that she saw put it through the mailbox. Just like, yeah, it's fine. I'll go and meet you at this place. And then her drink gets stolen. She doesn't question anything. And then she sees a little post-it stamp saying, "Wait here." And I love how she waited all day and the security constantly looking around for her. And the postage stamp on the Pandorica stays there. Like, did she? When she comes out of hiding and knocks over a whole bunch of penguins, by the way. Very rude, Amelia. I know you said sorry,
What
but
a
you didn't
bitch.
seem sorry. And then you see the little Pandorica sticky note. It's on the sticky note still. Like, it's ridiculous. There's no security, apparently, except for Rory, I guess. And then, yeah, this is how it gets this is when it gets complicated. Because Amy's in the Pandorica. What the fuck? The doctor was in there, Aiden. Why is she in there?
Why is she there? Plot twist. You know
Bruh.
what? Just this is the biggest flaw I have with this episode. Is and I don't know if it's production. I think it's the VFX, but I think it's also like maybe the way it's lit. I don't know.
Lit baby.
It just everything about it just feels quite cheap compared to the last episode. In the last episode, everything feels big. It's Indiana Jones meets Doctor Who, but this one just like it's like, oh, it's Doctor Who trying to do big things. Oh no, didn't quite do it. Connor's dancing. I don't know why. He's just enjoying listening to me talk.
Yeah, I always do. Zap, Doctor from the future. Hi, Rory. Zap goes back. Zap,
Yeah, bitch. That's fun.
Zap. US
That's a lot
Simpsons
of fun.
fans will get that joke. Zap.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, that's for me and the majority of our audience. I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about.
Bro, it's
But,
such a huge show. You're literally the only one who's missing that. Anyway, the Doctor's like, she's dead.
The
No,
only
she's not
one.
dead, but
That's
she
sensible.
is dead. At least she is in that timeline. I'm not going to reply to that. It's just mean. And then he's like, take this, Sonic, and then go and open it up. The Pandorica, that is. And he's like, when you're done, put it in Amy's breast pocket. Which I like, by the way, because then she has it in the future. It's so cool. Like, all that stuff is awesome. How he does that.
There's a lot of like crazy timey-wimey stuff that Moffat just thought out so well. Like, wait, how do I get the Sonic from here to here? Oh, I'll make the Doctor do this back here. And there's just so much stuff like that.
Oh, it's smart.
That just happens, and it's great. We also get the introduction of the Fez.
Yes, of course. Oh, God. Do you like
First ever
the Fez?
Fez. I never have, but
It's ruined now. I
the
think.
one time I do recall liking it is in Day of the Doctor. I don't know. I've always just thought that was funny.
Fez incoming. And David puts it on, doesn't he? That was cool.
Yeah, and Jodie gets one in Kablam, and I always just remember that being like, finally a reference to Doctor Who outside of this season.
That was the first reference. I thought that was really cute. She looks really cute with it on. Yeah, I like the whole, how'd you do that? It's like, you gave me this. No, I didn't. And then they put the two Sonics together and it like breaks. It's like two Sonics in different time streams. Awesome stuff.
Oh, it's fucking awesome until Amy touches Amelia, and there's all this shit where all these different people from different timelines are like touching each other at points. It's mainly Amy and Amelia, but the Doctor grabs the other Doctor and whispers in his ear at one point as well, and there's no zap.
Yeah, where's the one of those twats from Father's Day? They should be there.
The Reapers, yeah.
Don't touch the baby. Don't touch yourself. I always wonder if I went back in time and I was looking at myself in the past. I wear like a hoodie and shit, and I would like look through like a glass window or something, because that's not obvious at all. They'd be like, who's that boy looking through the window? It's just me from the future. Just watching myself get dumped by someone or something. I'd be like, oh, what a sad day.
Do you have a memory? I think we might have talked about this back in season 1, but this was a year ago now, so I don't remember.
What would I go say?
Do you have any memories that maybe you'd like to go back and watch of yourself?
Yeah, I think I said my parents me, and I think that'd be pretty awesome. And just to like bump into them, be like, oh, sorry guys, hope you have a good night. I think you two are really good for each other. And they'd be like, thank you, random stranger. Cool. And I'd be like, actually, I'm your son. And they go, who the fuck are you? You're some like,
you guys are gonna
lunatic. Fuck. You're some local lunatic or something. I'd be like, yes, your son. I am a local lunatic. That'd be so cool. I don't know, like to do that would be awesome.
Yeah.
Or like, I don't know, probably something to do with my family, my parents. That'd be pretty sick.
My mum and dad, they met in a nightclub, and last time we all went to the UK together.
No shit, that's so funny.
We actually went to it, and I'm from a town called Kendal in the UK.
Kendall Jenner.
And that's very, very far north, closer to Scotland than London. A town called Kendal, and the club, I think it was called The Park or something like that. But it's now like a cricket club or something like that. But we just went, and I took a photo of mum and dad on the steps of it, and it still has the painting saying like The Park or something like that on the floor of outside the pub. Outside the club.
That's so
it's
cool.
Just crazy, like that. This place is just where I come from. You know, without them meeting in that spot, then I just wouldn't exist. Just fucking whack shit to think about.
Yeah, I think Back to the Future does it really well. Like that whole thing they do there is really sick.
I thought about rewatching that recently.
Oh, they're so good. Like that whole thing is really cool. Yeah, I'll probably go back and see that. Like, I can't think of anything right now apart from that would be cool enough. Like, there's nothing really else like that really comes to mind. But
Yeah, there we go. I'm looking at the photo now. You can't see it, listeners, but there's Mum and Dad
so
outside of
sweet.
the park.
That's so sweet.
Yeah, and it's just sort of like
I guess love isn't dead.
it's just like faded there saying park.
That's so cool.
Just on the floor.
That's really sweet. Nah, folks, see, there is still...
Oh no, now it is. It's if anyone is going near Kendall in the Lake District anytime
Maybe someone lives
soon,
there.
go to Finney's Sports and Social Club. That's where my mum and dad met. If anyone happens to ever go, if someone sends a photo outside of Finney's Sports and Social Club, you have no idea how much I'll lose my shit. If you happen to live anywhere near there, just do it because I will cry.
That'd be so funny. That'd be brilliant.
It's so weird though, because like I talk to like friends and just family really in the UK. Sorry, and I'm like, oh, did you go to London? And they're like, oh, we go there like once every like 5 years or something. And I'm like, motherfucker, if I lived in the UK, I'd go to London like once a day. Because it's like I think. From where I'm from in the UK, it was like a 3.5 hour drive or something down to London, which ain't that fucking big of a deal when, we live in Australia where it's like, I drive into the city every day. It's like 45 to an hour into the city. But then also like, the amount of times I go on holiday, I go to Albany like once or twice a year, which is 5 hours away by car, let alone if I wanted to drive from Perth to Sydney, which is like days of driving. Like, it just makes you think how big of a country Australia is. And in the UK, you're so used to just those small hops.
Yeah. Yeah, I drove to Cardiff. Well, I didn't drive personally, but I got driven to Cardiff once. It didn't take long at all. It's a different country, technically, which is insane. Yeah.
Yeah, I got a train there, I think, when I went from where
I'm from. So both
like
went.
2 hours or something.
Yeah. Happy days. Isn't life weird? Every time I think it couldn't get more extraordinary, it surprises me. Is it possible? It's crazy. It's evil. I hate it. It's astonishing. And I want to kiss it to death.
That's right. Watch someone fact check me and be like, no, it actually takes 7 hours to drive from Kendall to London.
All it takes is
sorry about that one.
A Google search, folks.
In saying that, I think when I did a trip when I toured that player in the UK, I think we went from a bus from Glasgow to Heathrow, and I think that was about 7 to 8 hours, but there was a big stop off in the middle for like half an hour to an hour.
Aiden was too busy snogging to notice how long it took to get there.
What was that?
I said Aiden was too busy snogging to like notice on how long it took to get there.
No. Things I could say right now, but I'm not going to say on this show is
me. What the fuck did I? Oh yeah, shit. Fuck, bruh. Caught in HD, caught in 4K. Oh, inside jokes. They're so good for podcasts.
Oh, Conor, I think we're laughing about different things right now, but I'm just going to let it happen.
What did I do? Wait, what are you talking about?
I'm mocking myself, kind of.
Oh, yeah.
Are you mocking me or yourself?
Oh, me. You.
Yeah. You're mocking me?
No, I would never do that. I'm going to go to the toilet. Can you take over for a second and recap the episode?
All right.
Rory puts Amy in the TARDIS. I definitely go to the toilet, so.
Okay, go on, champ. Rory puts Amy in the TARDIS, and it's like, shit. The lone Centurion is going to watch over Amy, and, I did think, after watching this episode, I thought about jumping onto Big Finish, where Alpha Darvel, he has the lone Centurion Big Finish. Thought about doing that, because that'll be interesting. But I opted to save my money. And now it's time for this week's Finishing Big. That's right. What a segue. What a podcast host. You wouldn't see Conor doing that kind of shit. So I finished, what's it called? Fuck. The second unit story. I finished Eccleston's. I spoke about that already. Finished the second unit story. It came out in 2015. Who cares about spoilers? I don't really have much to say about it anyways, but it's fucking great, mate. Loving them unit audios. They're just fun. I love the unit family. watching season 8 of Doctor Who at the moment, and just the unit family that they've got in there with the Brigadier, Captain Yates, Sergeant Benson. They're fucking great. They're awesome. I'm excited to go on to the third Big Finish because it's got the silence in it, and I'm keen as for some silence shit. Last thing I'm finishing big before Conor interrupts me and says, "Hey, I am a good podcast host." Is I also listen to the Big Finish, a fan favourite one. It only cost me $1.50. The Chimes of Midnight, which is a Paul McGann story. It's about 2 hours long. It's got Charlie as a companion I've never heard of before, but instantly was like, this person's cool. And fuck me, it's great. Written by Robert Sherman, the writer of Dalek. And it's just a twisty, turny, spooky fucking ride. Doesn't rely on any returning monsters. It's just great, man. It's great. It's like every time the clock hits an hour, someone dies, and so it starts with like a murder mystery kind of like that. But then you realize there's like a time loop going on, and it's fuck. Okay, no, all right. I'm gonna totally spoil this story. It's from 2002. So you can't fucking blame me. Can't fucking blame me from spoiling this story from 2002. Okay, but basically, and it's still great to listen to even if you know this shit. But if you want to listen to it, skip ahead. Basically, what they find out is happening is they're stuck in a time loop that the Doctor and Charlie accidentally created. So, what happens is when Charlie was a kid, right? She grew up in a fancy house, and she had there was like a housemaid and that worked in the kitchen or whatever. And her and Charlie, best mates, mate. They were fucking great. Kind of just vaping out of his nose like crazy right now.
Got nothing else to do, hey.
Just listen to me chat about Big Finish. Basically, what the way, or at least what I've gathered from this episode, is the way that the Doctor and Charlie met was Charlie was in one of them like big balloon, because it's from like the 1930s, like them big balloon, the blimps they used to go around in.
Yeah.
And it was crashing, and the Doctor saved her at the last minute or something. But everyone on Earth thought that she died. But because of that, the housemaid, who was always looked down upon and no one cared about her other than Charlie, she killed herself. Wow. And that's what they find out in this story. But what they realize has caused the time loop is the fact that so she killed herself in 1930. In 1906 is where the Doctor and Charlie rock up in this mansion. But because the girl Edith, the girl that killed herself, she realizes that Charlie survived the thing and went up with the Doctor. She then doesn't kill herself, which fucks up time. And it's all this big like time thing.
That sounds pretty dark for a Doctor Who story. I love it.
Dude, it's fucking great. It is so scary, man. The sound design, I'm just constantly like, what the fuck's going on? I'm driving my car for an hour just in the middle of the day. Sure, it's stormy and rainy, but I'm fucking spooked because this audio. And the last half hour, I put on just my AirPods in at nighttime in the pitch black, just before I went to sleep. And fuck me, I was like looking around a lot afterwards. It's not a particularly scary story. Like there's no weeping angels or anything like that that scares you like that.
Right.
But it's just so uneasy. The sound design, great. Listen to the Chimes of Midnight. It's so popular that it came out in 2002, right? So popular that many years later they released a vinyl of it. And the reason I got it was because it was down to $1.50 because it had just been voted the most popular Paul McGann story of all time. So that's why I got it, and I fucking nommed, ate that shit up, loved it.
Smashing. Now it's spoiled for me, but that's alright. I can enjoy
I'm
it.
not gonna fucking listen to it, mate.
I might have.
How are them Chris Eccleston audios going, pal?
Great, loved it. Next.
This guy hasn't even opened up the Big Finish app.
I did on my old phone. Well, I listened to Spare Parts, and that's about it.
I think for me, what worked was listening to a lot of like the unit audios and stuff like that, which are way more action packed,
That does
and they
sound
really
cool.
get you used to listening like to Big Finish, so that
That
you can
Sans
go
one
back
sounds
to,
pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, that's the third series of the unit audios.
Can you just watch them anyway? Like, can you watch season 3 without?
I think you can, but it is cool to know. Like, for example, in season 1, it's like an Auton plot.
Again,
but it's really good.
Unit and the Autons, that's not been done before.
One of the main characters who's like a soldier, and him and Osgood are kind of a bit flirtatious throughout the show. He gets injected with plastic and like work because the Autons people, they do shit to him.
Bro,
but
so have half the people in LA, but you know.
So in the second season, he's doing shit like he can open steel doors and stuff because he's still like got that plastic injected in him. They don't just go and retcon that shit.
Now I know. Now I know when I'm like, how did that steel door open? No. Like, the signs are behind us. How do we get out of here? Well, need the steel door open. Never fear. I still have plastic in me. I can open this steel door.
That second season is great. They did one of those things that I love when shows do. I love it when they do it in Children of Earth and shit like that, which is when it's like kind of unit versus the government, and like everyone's against them and they have to go like full undercover, and like Osgood's apartment gets blown up and shit like that. Like it's like
cool. They do sound
crazy
cool.
shit.
I'm
cool.
such a twat, and I'm like, oh, audio. I don't think so, which is weird because this show is audio, apart from last week. You know,
Yeah.
like this show is like
Totally.
audio. So yeah, but maybe should I stop being a twat and start listening to the Big Finish? Tweet us or at me at 50Doctor, or just DM me and tell me. Just put Conor, you're a twat, and I'll know.
Conor, you are a twat.
Thank you. Trim Cussy. Hey.
So the Big Bang, because
I can't believe you put a finish in big segment.
Conor, you said you wanted to go in about 10 minutes time, so we got to smash through this.
Nah, that's fine. The only reason I said that is because I wanted to jump on live for like 5 minutes.
Okay.
And watch no one show up, and I don't know what I'm gonna. If no one shows up, that'd be so humiliating. At least, surely one person rocks up if I go on live.
I'll be there.
Yeah, you'll be there going, "Ha, Conor sucks," or some dumb shit like that. Aiden
I
always
hate to
votes
be
on
this
my
guy right
polls.
now.
Oh, don't say that, please, because they're not gonna know it's you probably.
No, you'll be good. You'll be fine.
Honestly, tonight's more just like a trial. I want to see how it works. I have no idea how it works, or if I can save the footage afterwards, or if I can upload it afterwards. I just want to see how it works. So it's more of a test. But if some actual people come on and want to chat, I'll probably just stay on for like 10 minutes. But I'm pretty nervous, so I'm like, I want some time to. I wanted to do it like. To be fair though, the later it is, like the better it is, because like most of our audience is like UK and shit. So
Yeah.
yeah.
See if you can figure out how to do that split screen thing, and you can bring me into it.
All you got to do is come on and request to join, and I can join you. You can just come in. Like, it's that easy.
I'll see. I've never done it before, so I'll see.
Yeah, I think all you got to do is request to join. So I'll let you know when I'm doing it. It'll probably be like 5-10 minutes after we stop recording. I'll let you know when I'm doing it. You can hop on, or I think I'm pretty sure I can bring you in instantly. I can send a request to you and be like, "Oh, hey guys." Like at least if it's shit, we go down together. Like if no one rocks up, because that's what annoys me. It's like, what if I'm talking to no one? I'm like, "Oh, hey guys." Like I know no one's here at the moment, but I swear I'm gonna upload this, so you're gonna. And so one person joins. Like if I'm the only person in here, who was he talking to before? like I don't want that on my conscience. So we'll have to see. I'm excited either way.
The Big Bang.
I haven't told anyone. I've put a little Instagram thing up. I haven't told anyone when I'm doing it, so I don't know if the regulars will join. But it would be cool just to interact with them live. Like if they want to send some questions through and shit, and we can answer them, and they can ask me dating advice. I'm so good at that. And all that shit. Pain. Yeah.
The Big Bang.
The Big Bang. Yeah. Amy's like, "Hi, little Amelia." She hasn't seen that shot to see herself, which is a bit weird. Then little Rory comes out and it's like, "Hi, bruz." And the Dalek gets waken up again by the light of the Pandorica. It's cool how like the Dalek, like there's no set villain for this episode, but I do like how there's like the Cybermen attack in the first episode, like that one Cyberman, and then the Dalek attacks in this episode, which is cool. The Doctor is back again with Rory, and it's like, we're gonna put Amy in the TARDIS so she can wake up in like 2,000 years in London in the museum, and it's like, come with me, and then it's like, Rory's like, will she be safe? And he's like, yeah, I'll be safe, I think. And it's like, will she be safe if I stay? And he's like, yes, obviously she would be. And it's like, well, I'm staying then. And I think it's truly a testament to Rory as a character and how much he loves Amy. I think it's so beautiful. It doesn't make sense, really. I know he's an Auton, so he doesn't really shit or sleep or eat or repeat. But he must get bored. Like, he must have. Or maybe he just didn't. I don't know. Like, maybe he didn't. I mean, that's the whole point.
I guess we'll just have to listen to the Lone Centurion on on Big Finish to find out.
Exactly. Like, we'll never know unless you buy the Big Finish. And then Doctor, he like zoinks to the museum. He meets everybody. Of course, the Daleks going around. I think it's cool, but it's also like a Dalek. Like, again, like, here we are. It's a Dalek boy. It's that shitty design from Victory of the Daleks. It's like so.
What do you
silly.
think of like the stone vibe of it though? Because it's different.
I think the design is beautiful. Props to the designers, as always. Like, the design in these episodes for all the creatures, like the Silurians, everything. It's like, it's always so beautiful. They've done such a bang up job, and it's such a thing that goes over people's heads when they watch this kind of stuff, like set, lighting, costume, all that kind of stuff. Score's a huge one. Like, if I had to bring up the score to my parents, I'd be like, "What? The music in the background? What does that mean?" And I'm like, ugh. Like, it's
Are you
like,
talking about when Titanium was in the Power of 3?
What's it? Feel the love in Psalm of the Daleks.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Great song to hear live, by the way. I fist bumped the main singer. That takes me back.
That's cool.
Yes, Rudimental and Perth takes me back. 2019. Yeah, and then they're like, "Oh my god, River, it's in the sky. It's not the sun that's lighting up the earth right now, Aiden. It's not. It is. In fact,
the TARDIS.
Boom, and we still don't know why it's blown up. Like, it's literally not explained. Like, it doesn't get explained. He thinks he left the bath on, I guess. Like, is that the explanation? Like, I guess it is. Like, it's just...
This episode's just so good at, like, wrapping things up, but also leaving things open without you being... Like, you don't end the episode being like, wow, I wonder what they're going to do next season. You end the episode being like, oh, a satisfying conclusion. And then at the end, you're kind of like, you just sort of maybe think like, oh, there's a couple of things that they're probably going to come back to, though, which is cool.
Yeah. I do like how you get to see the Doctor going back, and then it's like, how did you get the Sonic? Like, how'd you open that? And it's like, okay, I'll give the Sonic to you. And it's like, now I've got the Sonic, so I'll put it in Amy's pocket. That's cool. I like how he goes back and takes the drink off Amelia from the daytime and gives it to her in the nighttime. I like that. That's cool. The Doctor Sonic going into the not Sonic in like zap into the zap, another Simpsons reference. Going to the TARDIS and saving Rip. R.I.P. Aiden and his knowledge.
R.I.P.
We're such twats. Why, do you ever wonder why we like how we even have this show? Like, such twats. Sometimes I'm like, how do I even make this work? And then the Doctor falls down the stairs. He's like, bruh.
Real bruh moment.
Get it? Because he's falling down the stairs. So like, he's going, bruh. Bruh. Falling down the stairs.
Classic.
He's dead. He's been
Sorry,
shot.
just to backtrack a second. How's it's the CGI, though, when they're on the roof? Like, it just all looks a bit weird. Don't you think?
It's such an ugly, like... I know it's going for that, but it's such an ugly, like, disgusting, like, foggy... Ugh, doesn't look good.
Fucking gross, bro. That's what I think. The whole episode kind of looks like that. But I'm not that
it all looks a bit fucking shit, hey. Like, I don't like the lighting's really pants. Amy throws up the fez and River shoots it. For some reason, a satellite dish is a shield from a Dalek zapper. But then Doctor gets shot. But I like how it's like, oh, we saw him dead in the past. But I like how he lied, and actually the thing he whispered was like, "You're not actually dying. Like, don't." He's like, "I ain't dead. You ain't dead, dickhead." Like, that's what I would tell myself. I'm like, okay, I get the picture. Like, I know what I got to do. And he puts himself in the Pandorica to blow himself up. Sounds pretty bad.
It does.
That's actually what he does. Like,
there's two great scenes that follow all this. There's one, the river and the Dalek scene, which I think is really well shot, when it's like, mercy. That's a great scene. But then also when they realize that the Doctor's in the Pandorica, probably jumping ahead a bit here. But that's a really emotional scene between Karen and Matt. Really well executed, really well shot and performed and directed. And Karen was saying it was the hardest scene to film because she felt like that's really where all of her character arc all came together in that moment. So it was quite difficult for her to film. And yeah, really good, really good. They launch off into the sky. Fucking Geronimo sends a Geronimo text. That's cute.
I do like that. And then they go back to... I totally forgot about this. They go back to fucking Craig's house.
Yeah.
I totally forgot about that.
And Florida.
Yeah, when they're going to Florida. Don't they go back to the Silurian cave, or am I just tripping?
I think you're tripping.
Okay. Some reason in my head's there, I'm like, oh, they go back to Silurian cave or something. But yeah, they go back to a couple of places. That's really cool. Amy wakes up, I don't know who the Doctor is. For some reason, she has parents again who you never see again.
Yeah, I know. I saw a meme that was like, Amy loved her parents so much that she wished them back into existence and then never mentioned them again.
Never. And for some reason, Rory's dad's not at the wedding, which I noticed, which is kind of weird, considering they're pretty close. And yeah, that's odd. Well, her dad looks like Danny DeVito, which is quite funny. Yeah, they get the wedding present, which is the fucking diary, which I thought was
the
fun.
TARDIS book.
Yeah, and yeah, she's like something borrowed, something new, something old,
that's
and something
great.
blue.
Love that. Love the teardrop shot. That's beautiful.
I think I said it wrong, but it's like. I guess I just like to watch, like, do you feel like we're forgetting something? And then you get to see River walk past, obviously they get the diary, and she's like, my imaginary friend, and then one in the audience is like, oh, for God's sake, they're like, we've heard about this, Amy, he's not real. And I like how it comes off that it is, because he lands, and he's like, hello. And then, again, I hate this comment from Amy. She's like, oh, you can definitely kiss the bride. I hate that. That is such
fuck
a
off. Don't.
Shit line from Moffat. She just got married, and he has to go and belittle her character by saying a stupid line like that. It's just so dumb, and it does not fit her character at all. Like, it's so stupid. Like, she loves Rory. Okay, she's never met the Doctor. Like, I know she's been flirting with the Doctor and shit, but she's never known him. Like, it's just like, like, just don't, none of that, please. The drunk giraffe.
That's great. Crazy little thing called love.
Yeah, but
great.
Yeah, Moffat loves his songs in his era, doesn't he?
Yeah, we used to think Russell was the king of that, but he's put a good one in there, good song in there.
Of course. There's that classic shot of the couple dancing. You see the main character looking at them smiling. And you're like, ah. And then the Doctor runs off to the TARDIS. He's like, yo. And then River's like, hello. He's like, all right, enough of this shit. I want to know who you are. And Moffat's like, tough. You're not going to find out till next season. I remember being like, fuck, no, surely not. As a kid, Aiden, as a kid. I didn't say it, but as a kid, I was like, fuck. I was like, shit. And then
I think I remember being like, I remember saying it and being like, kind of not like, fuck, we didn't find out. But I remember being like, we're going to find out next season. She basically just fucking said we're going to find out next season. Oh my God.
That's the impression I got. I was like, all right, I'm also going to tune in anyway, but... Sorry, I'm vaping right now. I didn't know Aiden was going to cut to me so quickly. Oh, God, some people outside my house. Drunks, Aiden, drunks. What are you doing outside my house, Aiden? Should I say?
Doctor Who, bro!
Doctor Who? I'm such a huge... When you play the Doctor... Oh, God, those Comic-Con questions, they send me to hell. Yeah, I like it, though. It's cool. Just disappears. The whole Orient Express thing, and he, gets a call from there, and then...
That's fun.
That
Probably
is cool.
funnier if the next episode was the Orient Express, but...
Yeah, it's so weird, because he's like, we're on our way now, and I guess they just suddenly decide to not go. Like, isn't it Jamie Monahan or something? Jamie Morahan or something like that? He writes that episode. Do you think he just watched this episode and was like, that'd be cool, little loose end to to
idea.
tug on? We'll find out when we
Because
review that episode.
the
We're behind the
impression that you kind of
scenes.
After watching A Christmas Carol is, they've gone off, done a few adventures. Now they're on the honeymoon and shit.
Yeah.
And so you're like, oh, I guess, the Orient Express was an off-screen adventure. But then when they bring it back in season 8, it draws attention to the fact that it was never done.
Yeah, it's so weird.
Yeah.
Because he goes there with Clara. It's like, this is a nice place to take you for our last travel together. Because what they're going to do, they're going to do the last. Clara's like, I want to stop traveling with you. So he's like, I'll take you one more place. And that's the place he picks. It's almost like he picked it on purpose because he knows it's going to be a fucking issue. If you think about it.
Yeah. We're saving it.
And yeah, that's it. It's like, better say goodbye.
Say goodbye.
Say goodbye.
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 That's so lame.
It's kind of lame. But I do like how but the thing is, like, what I got from it, and I agree, it's lame. But, it's lame. But, what I got from it was, like, now they're going away in season 6 and be like, they're not running away from their lives anymore. Until season 7, I guess. But for season 6, they're like, okay, we're here. And Amy was always running away from her wedding. In season 7, they run away from their lives, but I feel like 6 is like they're happily in the TARDIS. That's what I got from it.
Yeah.
Did it make you a bit icky inside that that's the night Rory and Amy conceived River? With Rory's space jism?
Is it that night?
Yeah, because they say it in Good Man Goes Forward. It's like it never happened
We
before
fucked
then.
the
'Cause
night
first
after the
they were
wedding.
together was the night they're wet. When he does that, the night they're wedding. And that's the choice. You're supposed to have sex with your wife or husband on the night of your wedding.
Yeah. Yeah, no, of course.
Isn't that a bit weird? They go home, you're like, everyone knows they're going to just have sex.
You got to fuck.
Well, they did.
Yeah.
Don't you think the doctor would be like, I'm just going to warn you, if you do that in here,
you're going to have a Time Lord kid.
Rory, your jism is no longer going to be normal. It's going to be space jism.
It's going to be regenerism. Regism.
There's so many, cum jokes in 6-1 with the whole flesh thing. It looks like Cheers, and Rory's...
I'm keen for season 6.
The next episode is Rory's jism got fucked up because they had sex in the TARDIS. It's odd. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I'm so keen for season 6. I played this TV trailer which didn't play on my streaming service, but it was a TV trailer they dropped, and it's so cool. I played it with the speakers blasting. Man, it looks fucking sick. And there's so many shots from part 2 in there, by the way, which I noticed. But yeah,
have you done A Christmas Carol yet?
No, I'm seeing Kimmy on Sunday, and I want to show her it. So
yeah, cool.
But
yeah, I watched it earlier in the week.
You get what I mean?
I think I might do Impossible Astronaut tonight. I know I'll be a bit ahead, but I've got a few things going on, so it kind of makes sense for me to maybe get a bit ahead. Yeah. Yeah,
well, Christmas Carol is notoriously the one episode I broke the bro code for, because I watched it. I watch it every Christmas Eve, and then the Christmas Eve just gone in 2020. Obviously, we weren't up to that yet, but I did break the bro code. We were still in season... We just watched, I think...
Voyage
of Damned, yeah. And I went straight to Christmas Carol, because it's my tradition every year. I just gotten back from... I did this gig, and I was spinning tunes, and I was so sent. And I was like, but I've got to do it. And I sat through it, but it was really difficult, because I was they kept giving me shots of Jaeger and stuff. And I was sent. I was literally sent. But I was I gotta get through it. And I was crying and shit. I was trying not to be sick, because I was so drunk, and I had the biggest hangover on Christmas ever. But yeah, that's my last memory of watching it. So hopefully I can... That's fine. I wanna watch it with Kimmy, because I think it's really good. And I think it's my favorite Christmas special. I think it's so well written and great. And I kind of want to introduce her to the show a little bit. So I'm
it is a bit of a weird one. So
do you reckon?
Ooh. Nick was doing Nick's a teacher, for anyone that doesn't know, or she's rather at the very end of her degree, so she's working in schools, but she's not technically a qualified teacher yet. Mm-hmm. But she was doing a bunch of teaching work late at night, and I was watching it, and she just kept looking up and just seeing flying sharks and shit like that. And she was like,
sharks.
Aiden, what the fuck are you watching? And I was like, no, it's really fucking good, Nick. And she was like,
I
no.
swear, if you actually sat down and watched it, it'd be great. Yeah, I get that.
And like 15 minutes later, she like looked up again and it was like, Abigail singing to the sharks in the sky. And she was like, Aiden, what the fuck are you watching? And I was like, I'm sorry.
Look,
Didn't help that before. I had an 70s episode of Who with John Pertwee on before with people in morph suits trying to be aliens and shit. And she was like, Aiden, what is this show?
I don't know. I'm not expecting her to enjoy it. Of course, she's seen bits and pieces like everyone has. Like Doctor Who's a huge show. Like people have seen bits and pieces. I'm not expecting her to love it. Nor will I be upset if she doesn't. But part of me is like, I wonder if she'll be like, oh, maybe I can watch a bit of the next season with you. And it's never going to happen. But I'm like, oh, well, the next 2 parters are really good. Like, maybe we should put it on. Like, it's never going to happen. But I'm like, I kind of do want to show her as much as I don't like Day of the Moon, I think that, Impossible Astronaut is a fucking great episode. And Day of the Moon's still good. But it's not as good in the second part, in my opinion. Just like this episode, in my opinion. The second part wasn't as good. But yeah.
After a season of Moffat, obviously, you've said you really enjoyed it. It's your favourite one of the rewatch so far. What are you thinking going forward? The next 2 Smith seasons. Do you think you're gonna hate season 6, or you like we normally do, or you're gonna find something more that you maybe like in it?
Yeah. So notoriously, I hated season 6 as a young
same.
lad. I hated it. I reckon I'm really gonna like it. Like the trailers I watched the other night, I was like, this looks insane. And I think all the episodes I hated as a kid, I was just like, it was like way too deep for me. It was like, I hated the Doctor's wife. I remember rewatching it maybe 2 years ago and really liking it, so I'm sure I'm going to like it a lot more now. I remember hating, is it The Girl Who Waited? Yeah, The Girl Who Waited.
I've always liked that one.
Huh?
I've always liked The Girl Who Waited. That
yeah,
one.
I know. Yeah, you've always really liked it. I remember we were like, I always was like, what the fuck? I hated that episode. But yeah, I remember really disliking season 6. But I do think that this time round, I think it might be my least favourite of Matt's era. I think when we get to 7, I'm going to enjoy it probably the most. But boy, am I excited. And do I think I'm going to hate it as much as I did as a kid? No. Mostly because, like,
same.
Until, like, not that I just like Capaldi's Run, but I think when Capaldi's Run came around, I was like, I was getting older, and my enjoyment for the show was just starting to lack. And I think that's kind of why I can't be too harsh, and nor do I try to be too harsh on Joey's era on this show. It's because, like, I'm also getting older. Like, I'm sure if I was a kid watching Joey's era, I'd be like, this is so cool. Like, I'm not a kid anymore. Like, like, I feel like the more the show goes on, the less of a personal, touch to it for me, I think. And I think season 6 was when I started to be like, this is not Doctor Who anymore. I think I was just starting to hit puberty and stuff, and starting to like girls and shit and all that kind of stuff, and wanting to get drunk and shit. So yeah, but anyway, as a long answer to your question, I do think I'm gonna really like it. I really do.
Yeah.
What about you?
I'm about the same, really. I've never hated 6 Part 1 because I've always liked the first 2-parter. For some reason, Curse of the Black Spot I've always enjoyed. It's just that
so
Rebel
fun.
Flesh 2-parter that I've not liked. But I'm still keen to watch it because it's just like, it feels different. Like, I don't know. I'm just, it's been years, and I said this a while ago on the show, but the very last time I went to rewatch the entire show, this was 6 years ago, I got up to The Doctor's Wife and didn't watch anything after that. So it's genuinely going to have been over 6 years since I've seen a lot of the stuff in season 6, the back half of season 6. So,
wow,
excited for that. I think I might have seen Let's Go Hitler a couple of years ago. I think it was on TV and I watched it. But like A Good Man Goes to War, I've not seen in years. And the Cyberman one, Closing Time, I've not seen in years, and even the finale, Night Terrors, I've not seen in years. Yeah, the finale, I don't think I've seen in years. Widow in the Wardrobe, not seen in years.
Same. I'm pretty much the same as you, yeah.
Gonna be really cool, because that's the stuff where it's like there was some Russell episodes I hadn't seen in years, in like 6 years, but because I'd known them so much as a kid, I knew them from back to front. Whereas with some of these ones, I'm going to be like, I still know what happens and shit, but there's probably going to be scenes that I'm going to be like, I genuinely, have very little memory of what's going on right now, which is quite cool.
I agree. Yeah. And I do stand by the point. I think that these episodes are wasted on me as a kid. And I'm very interested to rewatch them again and have that adult aspect on them.
What's going to be very interesting is the wedding of River Song, because that's the one that we've always said is the worst episode of the entire show. Yes. We've always talked about doing some kind of big drunk thing. I think maybe we make that a big episode, and maybe we somehow work towards that in a cool thing, because whether we end up finding something better in it or we just laugh our way through it and get drunk, it's going to be something really fun.
Do you remember? Do you remember years ago you randomly hit me up and said we should do a review of Wedding River Song? Remember that randomly you hit me up one time?
It doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, and we just did this review randomly of Wedding River Song. I remember that. What was this? I can't remember. There was one episode that came up recently that I really hated as a kid and I loved now. I can't remember what it was. It might have been in Russell's era, but either way, there was an episode I really hated as a kid, and I was like,
Doctor's
I really
wife?
love it.
Doctor's daughter.
No, I was thinking that. No, it was a lot more. It was like a fan loved episode which I really hated, but either way, it was something.
I had that
I can't remember.
With Utopia this time. I wasn't huge on that one as a kid, but fucking loved it this time.
Yeah, I can't remember, but there was something that we reviewed, and I was like, I hate this so much, and I was like so shocked. It's gonna bug me. Yeah, it's bugging me too. If I can remember it, I'll tell you. But I feel like I'm gonna have that same effect on
Pfizer Pompeii.
I don't think it was that. It was like a notoriously one. Maybe it was. I don't know. Maybe I'm blowing out of course about how much I hated it. Nah, it wasn't Planet of the Ood. Nah. It was something. I know, it's really bugging me as well.
That's bugging me hard.
Yeah, it's bugging me as well. But I notoriously hated it. I think it must be some season 4 story or 3. I can't remember, and it's bugging me.
Dude, it all blurs into one. I was trying for the 1 year show. I was like, what's my favorite memory of the show? And I was like, fuck, there's so little stuff that it's all just a lot of fun of me and you just chatting shit that it all kind of does blur into just this fun thing,
Yeah. Yeah. Either way, there's been many episodes where I'm like, I can't remember it. Maybe I'm blowing out proportion. Maybe it was something like Fast Pompeii where I was like, I don't like it, but I really liked it this time. Yeah, I think it's gonna be like that. I mean,
Victory of the Daleks.
No. Nice try, but no. It was in fact not Victory of the Daleks. Sorry, Mark Gaddis. I think it was season 4, but I don't know why, but I don't think it was. It was a very out there episode. I can't remember, but yeah, I think I'm gonna have that.
Planet of the Dead.
No, it's no special. It's nothing like that. I can't remember. It's probably something like fucking Vice Pompeii, and I'm like, oh yeah, it was good, it's better than I remember it. And right now I'm like, it was revolutionary. I can't believe how much I enjoyed it. No, all right. I'm sure it's gonna.
So move on to Australia's second favorite segment.
What's that one again?
It's time for Behind the Scenes.
Oh yeah.
Alright, let's smash through these facts quick. We've gone pretty long here. Toby Haynes was playing Indiana Jones music the whole time they were on set to try and get everyone moving into the right tempo, get them in the right headspace, Very Indiana Jones inspired this episode was. The Toby Haynes, when he was talking to the production designer, he wanted River Song to look like a female Han Solo. Totally see that. Fucking cool. Good shit. Love it. Moving on. The episode did not actually, or neither of the episodes actually had a big budget. And maybe actually had less of a budget than some of the other episodes in the series. This is the first Moffat scripts not to feature monsters that he created. Because usually he creates his own spooky monsters. This time he just has the the other monsters, such as the Daleks. And speaking of the Daleks, another great podcast segue there. Thanks, guys. Is the last appearance of the yellow Dalek, the Eternal Dalek. Sad face.
Oh no, not the Eternal Dalek.
Oh, fuck, that's my favourite one. Jokes. I like the Supreme Dalek. As we discussed earlier, this episode, the date the episode is set is the same as the broadcast date, which is the 26th of April from memory.
That's cool.
This happens only 3 more times in the show so far. Once is for The Impossible Astronaut. Takes place on Lake Silencio at that time. Excuse me.
Silencio. But good. And
then the end of time happens, Christmas, New Year in that year. So there you go. Well, yeah, Christmas is when that happens. For End of Time Part 1. What?
Who knew?
Who knew? But every other Russell Christmas special hasn't, is a year behind is a year ahead of when we were actually watching it because of the Christopher Eccleston time jump. So those episodes aren't, the Christmas Invasion is actually set on Christmas Day 2006 rather than 2005. Crazy. And the other episode where this happened was Resolution was set on New Year's
Of course, 2020, January 1st. That's correct.
Yeah, 2019, January 1st.
Shit. Yes, true. Fuck.
Shit. Yeah, so that was a cool thing, I thought. Karen laughing at Matt doing the drunk giraffe is actually Karen's genuine laugh, not just Amy. It's Karen just laughing.
Oh, did the fans call it drunk giraffe? Because in Time, Matt's like, do the drunk giraffe. Do you think that's because the fans call it that?
What happened was Moffat wrote in the script, the Dr. Jantz is like a drunk giraffe. And so that's how Smith interpreted that, and then it got the name from that.
I'm doing the drunk giraffe, you can't say it.
Bit of this. Send us your favorite, your drunk giraffe impressions, kids. We love it.
Yeah. Tweet us or
here's
add
something,
us at 50Doctor.
Here's something whack that was a directorial choice, apparently, that don't know why. Maybe it was like a happier ending to have the TARDIS in it, but the closing titles actually use the opening titles version of the Time Vortex. So with the TARDIS flying around in it, but obviously with the rolling credits on them instead of the Matt Smith, Karen Gill, and Doctor Who.
The TARDIS is not destroyed, it's back, folks.
It's back, baby. I guess it's just fun to show like the TARDIS, they're off on their own adventures and stuff. I don't know. In terms of shooting, they had one night at Stonehenge to shoot, and they also shot one daytime scene. There was an hour of daylight or something like that they had to shoot, and usually that type of scene, which was 3 minutes long, would take about an hour and a half to shoot, so they were a bit pushed for time there. But it was one night at Stonehenge and 4 nights at the replica set, Foamhenge. They built a replica Stonehenge. Because at Stonehenge, they couldn't actually touch the rocks, and there was lots of restrictions of how they could
Yeah, because Dan said that.
Like
Dan said that. It's like, I wonder if they got a passes because you can't actually touch them. And I was like, good point. I was going to ask you about that, but Aiden was covered, folks,
Been to
by
Stonehenge?
Charles McKee. I haven't, personally.
Oh, yeah. It's a bunch of rocks.
No one knows why it's
cool
there.
Thing to be there.
No one knows why it's there.
The Doctor and the Pandorica, so they know where they left the Doctor, of course. Here's a kind of long-winded story, is that the Cyberman that has one arm, right, was originally shot with an amputee in it, so it like worked fine with the one arm. But they weren't happy with with the camera angles they used, so they reshot it. The amputee wasn't available, so that's why they got a normal person in with a green screen arm, which they obviously then green screened out and then left the shadow of the arm in there. There you go. Lots of fun for you there. So they were really pushed for time when they were shooting in the museum. So all of the shots, which are just a shot of the interior of the Pandorica, are actually shot in the Underhedge set. And then they just cut them in with the reverse shots of the museum. Whenever they like the Doctor and Amy shots at the end, the Doctor shots inside the Pandorica are shot at the stone stuff, whereas the Amy shots are shot at the museum, if you get what I mean.
Okay, I see.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah. Excuse me. Then a couple of cut things. One thing is that originally there was one of the stone Dalek that was in the chamber, the Pandorica chamber, was supposed to come alive, but that was a deleted scene. But that stone Dalek was going to be operated by Toby Haynes, the director of the episode. They did shoot it, but it was cut. So that's fun. The other thing was that Amy was meant to have a bit of a meltdown in the museum about just everything that was going on. But that got cut, which Arthur Darvill loved that it was cut because he thought that his acting was shit. So that's everything from behind the scenes. A lot of stuff there. I did a bit of digging to find some stuff for that one.
It's time for
Lovely. Just Twitter Tangs.
I think I've only got like one or something. I don't know.
I've got a couple. All right, so starting on Twitter, we have. I asked for what your reviews of the Pandorica Opens and the Big Bands were. The Big Bands?
The Big
Bang. Once again, we have Dylan
Dags
saying, maybe my favourite finale of New Who. The first part is this epic unravelling mystery. I agree, that's great. The cast are on top form. Matt performs the Stonehenge speech excellently. The set design is good. The cliffhanger is intriguing. I really love the Pandorica Opens, 8 out of 10. The Big Bang works for me on a completely different level. I love how it subverts your expectations and gives a more quiet and intimate finale. The way it wraps up and ties up loose ends from Series 5 work really well, in my opinion. 9 out of 10.
Bruh.
Totally agree with all of that, Dylan. Vinny, as always, coming in an hour or so before we shoot.
Vinny, why don't you hit me up on Instagram anymore? It's so mean.
Well, because I don't know. I don't know, Connor. She hates you, that's why.
I knew it.
She says, I like it. It's fun. I remember watching it for the first time and loving it. It's very timey-wimey. It's a nice ending to the cracks with Amy's family all returning and ending with the wedding scene. Something borrowed and blue, etc. Well thought out, in my opinion. I also love the museum stuff. I think the Big Bang is the better episode of the two. Also, I promise for Series 6 episodes, I will not leave my reviews so last minute.
Oh, she's so sweet.
And I said, I'll hold you to that. I totally agree with both of those reviews, actually. They're, I'm surprised, because I always thought the Pandorica Opens was the fan favorite. And maybe it is, but at least in these two reviews and my reviews, I feel, the Big Bang is where it really shines. Although I do love the Pandorica Opens as well. Pandorica Opens, I think, looks significantly better, which is a big boost for it, and it has a Pandorica speech, so that's great.
Yeah. Is that all for you?
That's all for me, yeah.
Only thing I can really say is I got two Blue Love Hearts from Shane, bless his heart, which means he actually watched the episode last week, the whole thing, which is awesome.
Oh, I had one of those from, I think, Dan, and...
Thank you, Dan.
Like Dan Peters, and then I think one of them from Ramble Road, so... Right.
I think Xavier just messaged me,
Jacob.
Rory punching the Doctor is a sight to behold. That's all I got. Apart from... That's all I got. To be fair, I only chopped it up 12 hours ago to message me things about it. I put his Pandorica Opens and the Big Bang, Matt Smith's era's best final. Yes, got 73%. No, got 27. Aiden hates
I think it probably is the best one, but I have such a soft spot for naming the Doctor.
I knew you were going to say that, because Aiden did vote no, along with Vinny and Xavier. Your friend Fergus voted yes, along with me. And I chopped up some stuff like saying I might go live tonight. 90% was great idea, 10% was bad idea. And classic, the only person voting bad idea was Aiden. But funnily enough, I found another one saying, will anyone show up? 71% was maybe 2 to 3 people. Probs not was 29%. And the 4 people, because they're all just trying to... Look, there's 2 people I don't know who voted probs not. But the 2 people as well, out of the 4, was you and Mitch. And the only reason you do it is to piss me off. And by the way, it works. Because you're both twats, honestly. It really fucks me off.
I knew it would make you mad because everyone sees that percentage, so I knew it would piss you off.
I'm trying to make our show grow. And Mitchell, he's the worst because he doesn't he's like, oh, whatever, I don't give a shit. I don't even watch Doctor Who. And he'll just vote on my polls. And he doesn't even know what I'm talking about. Like last week when I was talking about James
funny.
Corden, because he likes James Corden, he doesn't even know who Craig Owens is. He's like, yeah, I like him. So that's my best friend, by the way, voting no on my polls. So thank you. Yeah, that's it.
Dan Aid messaged us a review.
Oh yeah,
quick review.
it was actually legit for some reason. What's the what's the gag?
He says, I think it's a fantastic two-parter. It's fun, it's action-packed, and the time travel stuff is so cool. Always blew my mind as a kid, and even watching it now, it is very well done. The characters all get such great moments, although I hated Amy's comment about kissing the bride.
Agreed.
But other than that, it was a great fun, and to end an incredibly fun season, one of the best finales to one of the best seasons. Also, the best season of your show. Dan doesn't listen to our show. Don't try and trick us that, Dan.
He's like, this is so good. I love it. He's like, probably listened to the one he was on. That was about it.
Yeah, he's just fucking simping us, mate.
He's like, I love how much you've grown.
He's trying to make us invite him back for more than one episode a season. He wants to be a main person on this show. I fucking know it.
Not gonna happen. Not gonna happen.
Not gonna happen.
Not gonna happen.
You and me, baby. To the day I die.
It's me blowing
Preach
kisses
it,
to
sister.
Aiden.
Preach it.
Is that
He also
him?
put a thing up that was like, he posted on Twitter saying, what is it? When the Connor's scratching his balls into the middle of the camera.
I stood up to grab my ruler and I like grabbed my balls so Aiden could
and
be
you just
like,
happened to get some itchy balls.
No.
Why are you grabbing your ruler, Connor? We're not done yet.
I was getting ready.
We got a bit to go, mate.
Have we?
Dan said, my brain when the Hello Stonehenge scene comes on at a lad's watch party. It's just someone saying, do
I'm gonna
not come.
You
Irrelevant.
didn't finish
Last thing we
it.
need to do, Connor, is I need you to give me a rating for the Pandorica Opens and the Big Bang. A combined rating of the two episodes.
I'm gonna give it 8 out of 10. I think the second part definitely lets it down, but the first part's so glorious and beautiful.
Still a bitch, mate.
You're a bitch. Hey, you
I
literally
think
suck.
second
Don't even
part-
at me.
I think the second part, it looks cheaper, which is annoying, but I think it's better. There's so much going on. Both parts for me are a lot of fun. That first part is so great, like the way it starts and it looks incredible. Just a shame it kind of loses me a little bit in the middle there. But the last part, so much fun, so many emotions. It's fucking great. Moffat knows how to tell a traumatic story. For me, it's getting an 8.5 out of 10. Oh my god. Now, this is the part of the finales that we do where we go on standby for a second as I calculate together. I've got my final score here, but I'm going to go ahead and calculate together all of Connor's scores throughout Series 5 to give a final rating for the complete Series 5 based on the ratings we've given throughout this series, okay? So we'll be back. So Connor, what do you think your rating for the final season? So if we're going down to one decimal place, so 9.1 or 8.5 or something. What do you think?
It's got to be 8.5.
Your score's going to be?
Easily 8.5. It's got to be in the 8s. I reckon 8.5. But you know what? I'm going to
You
go
really
for
reckon
8.6.
8.5?
I'm going to go for 8.6, just to be exact.
You reckon that high? Because that's high. That's very high.
Yeah, but I loved it, Aiden. I loved it.
I know, but
I
you can
voted
still love
every
it without
episode
being
so
that
high. I didn't go down to a 6 or anything.
Well,
okay.
You did go down to a 6.75 for the Hungry Earth and Cold Blood.
Okay. You saying that to me makes me feel like now I didn't get near that. So.
Well, let's do a drum roll, please. Thank you. So you did have a 7 in there. You had a 7.5 and another 7.5. You had 1, 2, 3, 8, 1, 9, and a fourth 8, fifth 8 even. God, what a terrible lead up. Connor, your final series score of Series 5 is 7.9.
No, I didn't make 8 by 0.1%. Fuck.
It's still your highest rated
Yeah, it has to
season.
be. Fuck. I definitely would have given it an 8 if I... Shit. Okay, fair enough. Damn, if I would have just given Hungry Earth a 7, I would have made it. Shit.
Well, that's the thing that's tricky about this, because like I said, I still I enjoyed Season 3 more than this season. This is my second favorite season, but my score is still higher here than the Series 3 score. So I guess maybe that says that this is a more consistent season, I want to say, which is probably true. So it probably deserves the score that it gets here from me. All right, let's start a drum roll for me.
Right.
I gave the 11th Hour an 8.5. The Beast Below a 6.5. Victory of the Daleks a 7. Time of the Angels, Flesh and Stone 7.75. Vampires of Venice 6.75. Amy's Choice 8.5. The Hungry Earth / Cold Blood 7. Vincent and the Doctor 9.5. The Lodger 6.5. The Pandorica Opens the Big Bang at 8.5. Giving me a final series score of 7.7. Hey-o. Which I think is probably right. Definitely such a fun and extremely consistent series, which is just so great. Because Doctor Who, notoriously, it's got great episodes, then it's got shit episodes, it's got good episodes. This season is like so much great, and then a few good episodes. You don't really go down to that shit territory with this season, you know?
Yeah.
Got close. Beast Below and Vampires of Venice, it got a bit close, but still, even those episodes are still fun enough to just carry you through.
Most fun I've had with this season.
Is that it? Is that it for season 5? Should we just go? Should we just call it?
I guess
Bye.
so. Aiden,
See you next time.
Aiden, the question is to the audience, will you be joining me on Instagram Live for 5 minutes?
Yeah, I will. Yeah, go on.
Alright, we're going to go down together. It's going to be so embarrassing.
Yeah,
but fuck it. So that's the thing, folks. We're going to be doing Instagram Lives here and there. It might just be me sometimes. I don't even mind you signing in the app, Aiden, if you want to do a few by yourself. But regardlessly, I'm going to try and upload them to Instagram when we finish them, because there's a couple of shows I want to do with a couple of people. I've spoken to Dylan and Vinny about it, and they've all agreed. And I'm pretty sure they're available on our story for 24 hours. So they're available to watch on there as well. So I'll figure it out, but we're going to do a bit of a tester tonight. I promised at the end of this season I would start doing some. I've been putting it off for so long because I've been nervous about it, because it's a live fucking broadcast, so if I say something, it's there forever. Not saying anyone's going to be fucking watching, but still. But either way, get used to some regular live shows. So that's all I got to say. Thank you for tuning in. We love you all.
We'll have a lovely Christmas special next week for you guys to have a Christmas Carol. Then we're smashing into season 6. We've got some great guests coming in. We're bringing in some new guests. We also will keep, obviously, Dan, the funny guy we bring back every season. And then we got Xavier, the just extremely intelligent guy that we bring on every season. They'll be back here, but we're also going to be bringing you guys some people that we spoke about on the show a lot. Big friends of the show that we've met along the way. Dylan and Vinny are definitely going to be coming on for episodes. There's a few other people out there that I'd be keen for them to join. So, yeah. I just want this to be the season where we just get out there and we just meet people, talk shit about Doctor Who with people. Connor's put on his Sonic sunglasses. And as we're at the end of as we are once again at the end of a season, our 5th season, Connor, I just feel, I just want to say a big thanks to everyone for always making this show so much fun and wanting us to come back every season.
Thank you. And if you want to be like Jacob and send us some voice messages on Anchor, it's so easy. Just follow the link on Spotify or wherever you listen to this shit. And just click the link and you'll be able to... I think you have to make an account, which could take like literally 2 minutes. And then you can actually send us some voice questions, which, we get a lot more engagement now. So if you actually want to hear us talk about your beautiful voice and send some in, otherwise just tweet us or DM me at 50Doctor on both accounts. And yeah, get used to some more
Twitter
live streams.
and Instagram.
On 50Doctor. I'm going to try and stop vaping.
We love talking to you guys.
On the podcast. Did you hear me?
Connor, you literally just went so laggy then. It was really
okay. I was like, is Aiden judging me or is he like not? You good?
Yeah.
You good?
Okay. So yeah, Twitter and Instagram at 50Doctor. We love talking to you guys, in particular new guys, new people, guys and girls. We love talking to you both, and anything in between. We love it. So yeah, thanks so much, and we'll see you next season. Connor, would you care to lead us out in song?
I'd love to. You ready?
I'm so glad that we're ending this right now, because the amount of lag that I'm experiencing in this show is fucked.
And a 1, and a 2, and a skiddly diddly do. It's Aiden and Connor's podcast. They're doing Doctor Who review.